try to go dead center your screen. Okay. And is Pastor going to be in a separate screen? I can't hear you yet.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
In every corner of the world, there's a girl with a dream, a voice waiting to be heard, a future waiting to rise. This is Caribbean Girls' mission of hope. From the islands to the cities, we're rising strong. Through the struggle and the pain, we still belong. With a heart full of purpose, hands reaching out, turning whispers into voices, breaking down. We bring light where the darkness tries to stay, giving hope, showing love in every way. Every step, every hand we hold, every story, brave and bold. We are a mission of hope. We rise, we shine, lifting hearts, changing lives, one at a time. From the Caribbean to the world we go, planting seeds of love so the future can grow. We are strong, we believe, we restore. Opening hearts, unlocking doors. Together we stand, together we call. We are the mission of hope. Books in their hands, dreams in their eyes. We teach them to soar, we teach them to rise. Through kindness and courage, we lead the way, building brighter tomorrows from today. From disaster to healing, we rebuild again, turning trials into triumph, strength within. No girl left behind, no voice unheard. Every dream matters, every word. We are the change, we are the light. Standing together, we win this fight. We are a mission of hope. We rise, we shine, lifting hearts, changing lives, one at a time. From the Caribbean to the world we go, planting seeds of love so the future can grow. We are strong, we believe, we restore. Opening hearts, unlocking doors. Together we stand, together we call. We are the mission of hope. Hope lives here, love leads here. The future begins with us. Caribbean Girls, the mission of hope. Honey.
From humble beginnings, a vision so clear. Called by faith, they answered without fear. Hand in hand, walking purpose divine, serving the world, one soul at a time. To every trial, they stood as one, guided by the Father, the work's not done. To every trial, they stood as one, guided legacy written, love remains, purpose flowing through their veins, purpose across nations. Hear the call, clean hands, pure hearts, they stand tall. From city lights to distant lands, changing lives with healing hands. Purpose across nations. Hear the call, clean hands, pure hearts, they stand tall. From city lights to distant lands, changing lives with healing hands.
Ladies and gentlemen, from cities to nations, from purpose to power. This is not just another interview. This is a movement, a global impact, a divine assignment. Tonight, on Forefront today, we welcome a power couple walking in faith, leading with purpose, impacting lives across the world. From the United Nations to Kenya to Pakistan.
Quincy, Grigsby, Dr. Nadine, Grigsby,
Queen, the matured mixer. Let's go!
Well. We can finish the conversation right here. The picture tell all the stories right here.
My wife said, if you didn't know us before, you know us now.
Listen, we could finish the conversation here because the pictures tell a whole lot of stories, but I definitely want to take this opportunity to welcome you to my platform, you wonderful people. Good morning, good evening, whatever time zone it is. Welcome to Forefront today. We are here to bring you purpose-driven Forefront today, highlighting voices that are making a global impact. I'm your host, DJ Quinn, in Matured Mixer, and today we are honored to sit with a remarkable couple. I call them a power couple whose work spans continents, communities, and causes, visionary leaders of Clean Hands and Pure Hearts Ministry. And I have with me the Right Reverend Quincy Grigsby and Reverend Dr. Nadine Grigsby. Welcome to Forefront today.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, DJ Quinn. Pleasure.
Awesome.
A long time
Uh,
coming, right? We spoke about
yeah,
this.
yeah. You could hide, but you could run, but you can't hide from DJ Quinn, can you?
You can run, but you can't hide.
So how are you guys both doing today?
So great, so blessed.
So blessed. I myself, I wasn't feeling so great over the night, and I was like, oh my God, am I going to get through this? But I was determined, and I thank God my husband kind of nursed me through the night for this.
A
So
little tea won't
he
hurt.
was waking up at 3 o'clock with tea and everything, so I
You
could make
see,
it.
that's what happens when you get a good husband who understands the roles.
Like this.
Yeah.
That's an awesome thing. And Reverend, you might have worked and last night. How is your health and
Yeah,
you today be with us?
it's all about family. It's all about the calling. And I'm not saying this because we're on your program, but when you have good people like yourself, I don't hesitate. You know what Caribbean Girls Mission of Hope means? You know what you be to me? So when you call, you have to be there. It's a pleasure.
Awesome. Listen, you do have many hats and many titles. And I'd like to know that we can have the right title for you all today. Me addressing you appropriately. I know Reverend is good, Dr. Nadine is good. What do you want me to call you guys today? Take off some of the hats and give me one title that I can call you so we can do this interview today. You, Reverend Quincy.
Well, I usually use Pastor Q.
Pastor Q, awesome.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Reverend, I think it's, you need a collar for that. Today we're home. Today we're talking with you. It's a pleasure, but we
Awesome.
maintain a good relationship with the Lord.
And you, Ambassador Reverend Dr. Nadine Grigsby.
Today I want to take all my hats off. I just want to be Nadine. Is that all right?
Nadine is good for me, yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
DJ Quinn is for me, and I too wear many hats, and lots of folks know me as Cleveland, as Ruben, as Minister Cleve, all kinds of different names out here. But today you guys can call me DJ Quinn as usual. It's easy, right?
It's
easy.
Yeah.
Very easy. And how the kids doing?
They're doing great. This weather, even though up and down a little bit, but they could see the sunshine is going to be here soon. We had 3 great days, so they're looking forward. They're outdoor kids. Thank God for that. They love to be outside.
Yeah. All right. So when they come in, make sure they don't get into your nice chairs because they might have sat somewhere in the grass. So I'll be careful.
Exactly.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
You
I tell you, man. I know. I got to get into this Forefront Today conversation. Thank you so much for those of you come on in at Forefront Today channel, CRH65, and those of you on Facebook, on my page, and on Pastor Nadine's page, David, Mania, and Alexis, and those of you, Ryan Chan, and all of you coming on in. Thank you so much for coming on in. If you have questions, make sure you drop it in the chat box so we can ask these two wonderful people, this power couple, of themselves and their what's next in line for them. So let's get on into the conversation. Can we?
Oh yeah.
Nadine and Pastor Q.
DJ Quinn, before you jump in, I just want to say thank you. Really want to say thank you. I see the work that you do. I see your consistency, and I love your radio interviews. I listen to your programs when I can from time to time, and I'm always blessed. So I just want to really encourage you to keep doing what you're doing. You're making an impact. You are.
Thank you so much. Coming from you, I know, man, you always supportive in what I do, and I definitely hear it from you. I'm gonna call you from now and then. I'm gonna drop it, Reverend Dr. Nadine, Ambassador Nadine Grigsby. Thank you so much. I know Pastor Q, and I, we man talk and stuff.
That's
But it's coming from you.
it.
It's a pleasure. Thank you so much. But let's get on into it. And you are so much welcome, Nadine. What keeps you both grounded in the middle of such a global responsibility?
You want to take that one? Want me to take that one?
Yeah.
All right. Well, anytime you have an assignment, a mission, a goal, it makes things much easier. I just saw the introduction that you did. Oh my. It said it screams excellence. And when you have that mentality that you want to do things to the best of your ability, it keeps you grounded in all areas of life. right? I
Wow.
just think of life like a pie, and you split that pie, like you said, you wear many hats, and anytime you divide that, you want to make sure that every area of life is being addressed, and that's what keeps me grounded. You said it, the children, right? Keep a watchful eye on them. Career, do as best as you can. I saw some nice, beautiful pictures, the sergeant picture, and the captain picture. Keep wherever you are, keep striving to be your best, including the best husband you can be. Right?
Yeah.
She's not feeling well. You know how important your other half is, your
Yeah.
team. So when she's not feeling well, I have to help pick her up. And everything. The pie could be as cut up as you want it to be. You have your siblings, you have your community, you have your country. We always representing. But I must say, at the center of it all is faith. And that's what keeps me grounded. I know that everything I have in life is because I have grace and I've been blessed. Deserving none of it, but I've still been blessed, including by chance running into this woman on the train here.
I'm telling you.
Chances, but now I used to say I got lucky, but you know what? I realized it was divine intervention. Right?
Yeah. Awesome, man. I was glad that she posted those earlier days on Facebook so I can go pirate it, I can take it without permission, because it's public,
But DJ, you have to send us that slide. That was beautiful. I love
yeah. Definitely, it's yours to keep. But your husband, I'm telling you, your husband did well in the first answer. But Nadine, is there something that you had to learn, or something that was always part of who you are? I mean, you don't learn these kinds of skills in college. Was there something in you that we would say, growing up, that that you're going to be this great, this woman of excellence?
I'll be honest with you. It all boils down to Jesus. I accepted Jesus Christ in my life when I was only 16 years old. And I remember even as a little child that the Lord would speak to me. So I'm struggling a little bit. The Lord would speak to me. And I knew that there was a God that loved me. I knew there was a God that was guiding me. Coming from a single mother, my father was gone by the time I was 8 years old. Wow. And I saw her struggles. And I would always say, no, God, I know you're going to help us. I know you're going to help my mom. And I left Trinidad with a miraculous visa. People were struggling, trying to get a visa to come to America. And Nadine left with a green card in Trinidad. I knew there was a higher power. I knew there was a God that was guiding my steps. At the end of the day, I am not obligated to this man right here. I am not obligated to you. Everything that I do, I strive for excellence because I have to answer to this great, excellent God. So don't think anything that I do is excellence. I do it because I want to please Him. And that is it. Please God. And your life will appear so excellent. But at the end of the day, it's because you know your leader is a man of excellence. And that is the Lord Jesus Christ.
We're looking at a finished product right here between the two of you, Pastor Q and you, Nadine. You look beautiful, and we see those pictures when you guys were courting and when you got married. We see the end product. But you guys played with mud. Both of you might have played with marbles, played litty, play hopscotch. Run around, pick fruits from trees. Tell us about those days when you were just a little toddler or a teenager back in the USA here or in Trinidad. Let me take you, Pastor Q, and then I'll take you.
My own is a beautiful combination. I do have a blue passport, US born, but my mother's something very interesting because she's Trinidadian. At a very early age, I went down to Trinidad and spent time with my aunts, my grandmother, right, who helped raise me and give me that nice beginning, that nice foundation. And now you're in the US, and I have 2 brothers, 2 sisters. I have my mother at the time, our spiritual leader, setting a nice foundation for us. I had no idea what reading scriptures and the Psalms would mean to me today, because you would have to fast forward. But back then I didn't know. Making attending church services mandatory, right? There is no choice of the matter. And I loved it. And it helped shape my personality. So those are the humble days that I remember. As a matter of fact, I didn't even have much friends outside. Like I had two brothers, two sisters, and we were very close. So that's my family was close. I saw how my aunts and my mother, they interacted, my uncles, right? Everybody coming from Trinidad, they stay by my mother a little bit, get on their feet, off they go. And that was it. Very old school, I think, at the time. Well, at this current time, where families are very tight. So what you see and what you observe is who you become.
Yes.
Fast forward to this day, I'm the same way with my siblings. We haven't lived in the same state, all five of us, in many, many years. I could call them. I could call my brother randomly or my sister, but I need to have time because I could talk with them for an hour, 2 hours. Beautiful, right? So I think that's what shapes your foundation. And that's one thing I tell my own children, oh, I don't tolerate, right? I'm a very fun loving dad, but when I don't want them to tease each other. I want them to learn to stick up for each other. If someone's bothering your sister, you should take offense to that. Don't let anybody make fun of anybody, right? Teach them to grow up close. This is who you are. And I think it's rubbing off. So I like that family tradition. And Pastor Nadine will tell you the same thing, very close with her family.
We were really close knit. But I like what DJ Quinn says, back in the days when we used to play marbles and hopscotch, right? Yeah, we did all of that. But I feel like I really experienced, I lived with my siblings, like I said, and my mom until I was about 16 years old when I came here. But when I came to America, it was such a culture clash. It was really a culture clash because I had to learn everything on my own. No more mother, no more sisters. Like, Pastor Q, they grew up real close-knit. But I had a good 5 years just on my own as a 17-year-old, 17 through 22, or 17 through 21. I think I met Pastor Q at 23, where I was on my own. And I didn't know a lot of things. But again, I had this great big God that was guiding me, that was leading me. And I did a lot of fun things. And I want to be authentic today and say, guys, enjoy your youthfulness. If there's young people 20 years old on this line, I see my daughter Kashanti in her 20s. Enjoy your youthfulness. You guys saw some of the pictures. I've traveled to 50 countries. I have done a lot of things. I used to take the runway. I did some modeling. I'm not saying that these things are what God wants you to do. Of course, consult with the Lord. But I met a lot of great people, went to Hollywood, did a lot of fun things. It may not be your rites of passage. There's other things that you can do that's godly fun, but enjoy your life. We have one life to live, right? Enjoy your life. Let the Lord lead you. Jesus and God and faith is also fun. It's not all scriptural and don't do this and don't do that. Some people see religion as a book of rules. But God wants you to enjoy this blue marble, right? Is that what the astronauts called it recently? Blue marble. He wants you to enjoy it.
Awesome. I'm talking to Nadine and Pastor Q, man, the folks from Clean and Pure Hearts Ministry, power couple right here in forefront today. Those of you just joined in, if you have a question for them, please feel free to ask your questions because they're going to motivate you, your child, your godchild, somebody. Their life is an open book for many, and I need them to make an impact in your life. But let's talk about your origin story. Let's go back to the beginning of what was the defining moment that led you both to the creation of Clean Hand, Pure Heart Ministries. Tell us about that. Was there that moment where you doubted your vision, perhaps, that you could get this ministry started? I want to, I always have to ask people, was there a moment when you experience, like me in many occasions, that imposter syndrome that, look, I'm not worthy of this. Somebody will come and find out that I am not who I am and doubting myself. Have you?
No, that's very good. And as we speak, you'll see how similar we are, where everybody may doubt yourself. Think about when we started, it was during COVID, almost like, hey, I want to maintain my relationship with the Lord. But the world is telling me, hey, I can't go. We can't meet together. So many people in a room. And I believe a lot of things happened during COVID. Some were great. I like the online ministry. People were getting closer to family. You're buying all the tools to communicate through a Zoom, through all these technologies that we knew very little of. And it takes a mind like Pastor Nadine, I give her so much credit, coming home with devices, coming home with all these ideas and say, what are we doing? I want to keep the ministry going. So this actually started off of a Bible study on Mondays. That's all we wanted to do. Come with the youth. There's a young man, Theo Alani. He helps with in ministry, and we just wanted something for the kids to continue. We actually had a focus on the children so they can learn and read the Bible, and we could explain it, and they'll do presentations and just have a forum for it. But the ironic part about the name in itself, and you could go into it more, is the clean hands and pure heart, right? The outward and inward part of ministry, right? And I always saw myself as the clean hands. That is the calling that the Lord has for me. If I can successfully, outwardly do things that is right, I could be a good leader for my family and to others. Meaning, if it doesn't belong, if I don't need to be there, you have to remove yourself from those situations. The pure heart was the challenge for Pastor Nadine. It's all up here. It's all not even thinking negatively, always having a positive outlook. And I think we come together and you see this vision of CHAPH, clean hands and pure heart, CHAPH. It was born out of a shared calling to create ministry. And we put faith in action. And Pastor Nadine will have to explain, because I'll be honest, when I'm driving, I see the road ahead of me, and I take a look in the rearview mirror, and I keep moving forward. When this one drives, she likes to look around, and she'll notice something to the left, something to the right, as she has that wonderful vision, that peripheral vision, and that's why we extended outward to create to cross borders, right, and cultures. And you'll have to call out a few people that we see already on the line. It's simply amazing.
Yeah, and also Pastor Q and I, we had that shared calling.
Mhm.
We wanted to create a ministry that put faith across borders. I didn't believe that even though you speak a different language, we can serve together. So we wanted to build a community, one that was rooted in integrity, one that was rooted in compassion. And if I had to give one word to the name of this ministry, it would be transformative, because we believe that our actions should reflect purity of our intentions, and that's where the clean hands and pure heart comes with. When we started in COVID-19, everyone was worried about washing your hands, and God took us to that scripture. He said, "Who shall ascend into the hills of the Lord, and who shall stand in His holy place? He that had clean hands and a pure heart." And I remember my husband reading that scripture to me, and he said, "He had clean hands and a pure heart." And I said, "What's that, a foundation?" And immediately the Lord said, "No, that's the name of the ministry." Right? And he
Wow.
was so concerned. Yes, that scripture. And now that is the foundation, the anchor scripture for the ministry. He said, "Clean
Mm.
hands and a pure heart," reading from the scripture. And I thought he was reading out the name of the foundation. So it's just powerful how God led us down.
Straight from the Psalm. Yeah.
We just want to
Wow.
speak with no corruption and pure integrity and purity of intent.
But was there a time that any one of you doubted this vision that you felt?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Just funny thing is the morning devotion. Let me share this. So we did when did the morning devotion start? This is our second.
It's going to be 4 years.
Well, in the second year,
Uh-huh.
it was we were so content to do a morning devotion for a period of time.
For 40 days of
For
Lent.
40 days of Lent. Then we tried another one where we were talking about the women of the Bible, right? That was the month of March. So you see, my brain works like, I'm going to go, if you give me a project, I'm all in. I'm going to do it to the best of my ability. But for some reason, I don't know if it's my military background, my police background, where I'm finished, I'm like, we got through it. And I give a little celebration. And then one day I felt like Pastor Nadine tapped me and said, "Hey, I think the Lord wants us to keep on going." Or we just did 40 days. And then all of a sudden, we just made it a part of who we are, a part of our lives, and we keep going with it. So every morning we have help from Dr. Joanne Hart, right? Family, Pastor Nadine, and myself, a nice trio. And we have a morning devotion 7 days a week. And it's also what helps keep us grounded, so we never grow apart. The word is always with us. We start our day, or wherever you're located. And when I said we start our day, if you look on the line, you'll see David, who was one of the first to. David is in Kenya right now. So you see David, he's right. You see on the screen that is in Kenya, right now as we speak. Wonderful person, and he is our connection to that country. Hours ahead of us in Africa, right? We also have ministry members in Pakistan that we work with. So it's just been a beautiful. And you actually traveled. You want to speak about that too?
Right. But he asked us, has there been a time when you doubted?
Oh, doubt. Well, that is the doubt. Like, can we keep going? Because, as you said, DJ Quinn, life is so busy. Yes, I have to be at work. I have projects and plans. And do we have enough time? We have these children. We have to get them on a bus. There are days where I'm here doing a devotion and I have to look in the background and say, settle down, or, someone's getting ready to go on the bus. And so it's all balanced. And there's times where I might say, I don't know if we could keep going every day with this. Maybe let's just do it once in a week, twice in a week. And then you realize, man, why did the Lord bring us this far and then tell us to stop?
Yeah, and I feel like also like anything else that you start from scratch.
Yeah,
you would face all types of skepticism, which we did. Yeah. I've had people question my motive, like, why are you doing this? You want the whole world to see you can do this? I've had people say things like, this is not real, this is not authentic. We face things like resource limitations when you're like, God, this is such a big project. Where are we going to get the finances to fund it all? We face challenges, like Quincy says, with balancing life and all our other responsibilities. But I feel like those early obstructions or early obstacles, those things taught us teamwork. Because you can be married to someone and you're not their partner, you're not a team, but it really taught us to work as a team. Even our children, they know the Sunday routine by now. We're a family of 6, but we're a team, right? It also taught me perseverance. Like, I would be the one to run away from challenges back in the day. But now I've learned to stand. I've learned to stand. Like, no, we're going to get through this. We're going to work through this. So I'm so grateful for the obstacles. I can't believe I'm saying that now, because back then I was like, I don't want any challenges. But I'm so grateful to God, because those has taught us some fundamental lessons. And yes, I've doubted in those days, but we learn how to work through it.
Okay, all right. I see I have our president from the Caribbean Girls Mission of Hope, Ms. Rhonda Ben Valero. She says that was confirmation. Yeah. She said that was confirmation. So that segue me, I still need to know. I heard some things, but what confirmed for you that this was truly a calling and not just an idea? What was that conforming time that you guys could remember? I know the scripture gives you that but what you think really is formidable that this was a confirmation? Like 2 people said the same thing to you, or God's, what was that conforming time for you both?
Yeah, I'm glad you said if 2 people said the same thing to you. Yes. The Spirit of the Lord did, back in those days, we were under leadership of a pastor, and she called me one day and she said, the Lord is calling you to start your own church. Then, and she said it just straight up like that one day. She said, it's time to start your church. Then shortly after that, there was there's another wonderful pastor. She's actually, she works in the prophetic, apostle. And she said to me, the Lord is calling you to start your own church. 2 different people saying the same thing, right? And I didn't fathom it at the time. I mean, I even went to Bible school and didn't even know when I started Bible school that I was going to graduate in the 5-4 ministry as a pastor. But my husband he was already graduated as a pastor. So when all of this started coming together, I realized that God was doing something. And I remember going into a 40-day prayer and fast. I want to challenge everyone in this group don't make any decisions without praying and fasting before the Lord. We went into a 40-day prayer and fast, and at the end of the prayer and fast, the prayer partners that we had said, your church is going to start. Your ministry is about to start. And that was confirmation. And I tell you, after that night when we were speaking with I was speaking with my husband, and he started reading from Psalms, and he says that, who shall ascend in the hill of the Lord? He that hath clean hands and a pure heart. And I saw the caption, clean hands and a pure heart. I knew, besides what the pastors had told me, besides a 40-day fast, and now this anchor scripture, that God had started something, and we ran with it.
Yeah, and one of those prayer partners was actually my mother, who's so brutally honest.
Yes.
And my mother knows me obviously so well. She's very close to Pastor Nadine, and she really gave us that co-sign.
Yes.
And there were other messages along the way. I don't know if you remember, just going into the bank. When people see things in you and then you don't see yourself. Going into the bank, we were getting some type of bank loan for a home or something. And the lady asked me, said, excuse me, can I ask you a question? And I said, no. She said, are you a pastor or something? I said, no, I'm police. She said, no, you're not. You don't carry yourself like no policeman. But she said, you know what, I'm not going to argue with you because she didn't believe me. The Lord is saying that there's a calling on your life. You can encourage people. There's a lot of young men and women out there who need guidance. So there's things like that that give you confirmation. I never told this lady any thing about pastoring, and I was very honest. I was not. But people see things.
Yeah, people do. Yeah. I'm talking to Pastor Q and Nadine. I know she want me to call her Nadine. I feel so disrespectful. Addressing an ambassador, a doctor, and a reverend as Nadine. But, we are friends, and we can do that here. But thank you so much for coming by and gracing us with your presence here at Forefront today. Folks are coming in like one of the persons I interviewed, who's also empowering women, Miss Allison Beard. She is a fashion lady, dancer, all kinds of stuff. She's empowering women. So is Miss Rhonda Ben Valero and I believe Kashanti Pierce. So many women are coming on in. Oliver Jones, I see you. Good morning to you. And the fellas are straggling in, Pastor Q. The fellas are straggling in. David is the only man here so far. Maybe we have some incognito listeners and viewers, but who knows? Your story can impact a man too, not just the women. And I didn't want to have my friend Nadine to come on alone because I consider you guys a power couple, packed. I love both of you because we got a chance to meet in person. I didn't get a chance to come fellowship with you guys at your church yet, but I plan to come because I have to make a special trip because when I come out north, there's always 2-3 things I'm doing at the same weekend. So I got to give you guys a special trip.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So don't believe I'm not trying to come out and fellowship with you all. But we're talking to this power couple, a working couple, a couple that is making an impact in this world. And you are not just partners in life, I believe, but partners in purpose, right? What has been the greatest strength of working together in ministry? I know we talk about a lot of things, but I want you guys to pinpoint because some couple is going to be motivated with your answers. So although we may go around it and some folks might have heard something before and you might have answered it in another question, but directly, what you guys think is the greatest strength of working together in ministry?
The greatest strength is someone who is supportive.
Yeah.
Because there are days where you may not even want to get out your bed. But
True.
You need someone to give you a little nudge.
Yeah.
You see, husbands and wives, you can't separate your roles, right? It's one goes out and makes money, the other one will stay home, take care of kids, one will do the homework, one will do the dishes, one will do the laundry, right? That's what we were taught. Right down the middle, 50-50, right? And that's the 100% that we put in. And I believe the strength of Pastor Nadine, right, is her ability to say, we're going to take turns. That's a great feeling. I've had training where I had to travel, for example, to Boston for 3 weeks. I had to go to Boston for some training, great training. That I'm leaving her to do the responsibilities of what we have come accustomed to do together, two people. And it's the same thing. She will go to do, and before I got connected to Caribbean girls, she would leave the house to go to a tea party. But
Yeah, to MC with me. Yeah, to MC with me. It was
I said, "Who is DJ Quinn?" She was gone. Come back smiling like she had a good time. I said, "What's going on here?" You know. And then I get to meet Ambassador around the banner, her wonderful husband Oscar, who's watching, and then you see, wow. You see, when you have a calling and you're both on the same page, we know that, hey, go for it, and we support.
Yes.
Let me tell you, she did something that I scratched my head. I said, our wedding anniversary is the 23rd of, sorry, when the son is born on the 23rd. The 26th is his birthday, 23rd is our anniversary. And she says, I got to go to Houston. And I found that strange. I said, on our wedding anniversary, she said, I'm going to help another ministry in Houston, Texas. Dr. Keith Roll, Evangelist Joy Osoeke Roll. They're having a big program. Normally, you may feel some offense, but I know what she's doing. She's going to do work for the Lord. We have that in common. I'm supporting her. I think she went to Africa recently, right? To Kenya. Sometimes she would go to Trinidad on missions. I stay here with the children. So while she was doing mission work in Trinidad, I had to, where did I take them? Some amusement park or something? Yeah. Hershey Park. Because you get what I'm saying, DJ Quinn? When you are on the same page, it's a beautiful thing. There's no competition. I enrolled in school. Here I am by the computer doing my work. And all I feel is her head on my shoulder. What are you doing? She said, oh, that looks interesting. I said, whoa, this is my work here. She wants to help me get through the class. So I said, you know what? When I write my reports, I'm going to give it to you to proofread for me.
Yeah.
You got to thank God for somebody who's supportive of your growth and success. There's no battling in here. So that's probably one of the biggest things. I feel such relief that I could go anywhere, and I will allow her to go anywhere to do work for the Lord. And man, when you come home, everything will be well. The kids will eat, right? I'll make sure they get to school. You go and do what the Lord's calling you to do.
Pastor Q and Nadine, y'all, please be real. Let's be real right here. What has been the most challenging part of working as a couple, guys? It's got to be something difficult thing. Tell us, man. Let's be real.
Yeah.
Come on, Nadine.
He has a lot of real ones.
I have a real one. And this is for all the, this is good for couples. We have to know that there's sometimes we have to say no. Pastor Nadine has such a heart of gold. She wants to do and be everywhere. And I said, we can't do that. We got to make sure, because she will, I will even give her, when I say give her, I allocate funds for her, and we've been doing this since we were dating, right? For your nails, right? I like to give her money. I say, hey, hold this, this is for you. Go do your nails. And sometimes she'll come back and I look and I say, what happened? She said, no, I used it to buy this. So I bought a microphone for the church, or a backdrop for the church, or a banner for the church. And I said, it was for you to do something for yourself. So now that's some of the, hey, don't forget, and this is a good thing for everybody. Your ministry starts at home. And sometimes that's it. We got to say, hey, we have our children. We have to make sure that we are still spending time, quality time, as a couple. Now, there's some programs that she watches. What's your Touched by an Angel?
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is from the 19.
I love that program.
She loved the program, and sometimes I have to sit there with her. She's like, "Oh, did you see that? I'm falling asleep." But here's the thing:
you missed that.
What was that? Rewind that. But now, the playoffs have started today. The New York Knicks are playing, and I want her to sit down by me. And even though I've explained it numerous times,
right.
Like, you don't know. We've been married all these years. and you still don't know football. I have to explain. So those are some of the challenges, but I make it playful. But it's a priority to make sure you have your quality time. Our quality time is not at a pulpit in church, right? We're doing the what's work. When she's not feeling well, like yesterday, 3 o'clock in the morning, you gotta get up. You have to get up and make sure it's all right, and then still get up for the 7 o'clock morning devotion. But again, prioritizing your relationship, as time is not stopping for anyone. That's why we appreciate you so much. We were sitting here like two kids watching that video that you put on at the beginning. All the memories and things that we celebrate. And again, celebrate milestones in your life, right? Don't forget anybody, because now the kids know that we traveled to a conference, right? We just came from a conference. I think we have another one coming up.
Yeah. You know what I wanted to interject to say about a real challenge is, for the couples on this line, give each other space. That was hard. That was a hard lesson for me to learn. But this is, I remember there was the time when Pastor Q would come home from work and I want to talk. I want to get into anything that has on my mind, things I want to get off my chest. I want to do it right now. I want to talk to you right now. I want to argue right now. And then, one day he said to me, Nay, listen to this. I promise you, on Saturday, we are going to fight. He said, but today, I'm coming from work. We could take it easy today. But I promise you, on Saturday, whatever you want to fight with me, we're going to fight on Saturday. And we both started laughing so hard. And all of the tension and pressures that I was feeling that day went through the window, because I realized that he needed some time. And that took us a long way, because I learned to give him his space.
Right.
And we want to jump on it. We want to talk. Because I haven't seen him all day. But I had to learn that sometimes he just needs a little space. And as I started growing with him, I said, man, I need space too.
Oh, yeah.
And we learn how to give each other
kids.
at times. You need a little
to
breathe. A true challenge that has turned into something so wonderful, because we understand to give each other a little time to breathe.
Yeah, and you can hear it in our voices. Some days she grabs her purse. I see her putting on her shoe quick. Where are you going? Oh, I'm going to Walmart. And I said, oh, hold on, because the kids want to go with you. She said, no, no. I'm going by myself. Signal, she needs a little time. All right, guys, wait, stop. I'll take you. She needs a mental health walk.
You do. You need
yeah.
5-day walk. You need to do that for your own.
DJ Quinn, even to this day, even as of last week, I still do something called on call. I'm still actively employed in the police department. I remember she doing this as a detective, but that was 15 years ago, where they would call me in the middle of the night. Hey, someone just got struck, those are not easy things. But when you have someone, so I'm getting ready, I'm getting the instructions, where the person is, where the body is, where I have to go. I go in the shower, I get dressed. By the time I come downstairs, she's already made me a cup of tea and a sandwich to drive with me to go. But also when I come back, I also need to wind down. That's this is not secret police information. The the person who was in some type of distress with the sword in the subway. The people, he was shot by the police. I was there.
I was going to ask, because I know you're part of that, Metro. Yeah.
Exactly. Live and direct. So when we come home, I do need a little time before you tell me, hey, did you pay the AT&T bill? Before you tell me, hey, remember the kids have a school trip and I said,
and you and I got things in common, Pastor Q, because I serve. Yeah, you and I got things in common, because I serve as a detective myself back home in South America, and I know those times when you have to get out late at night, working that late night shift, and you want to have someone there who knows that to pack that flask of hot water for you, pack that sandwich, and iron your clothes sometimes, while you getting showered, and those are the kind of things that add value to what you do in your careers, and That's right. That is priceless. But some people here on this chat would like to hear more from you when it comes to couples working together. Some people believe that couples should not work together because of conflict and pressure. What would you say to those people? Or what would you say to that?
No, I would say that it's good to work, to learn how to work with your partners. It's very important. I mean, whether you're in business or in ministry or just on the home front, if you can't work together, you can't build together. If you can't work together, you can't build together. If you can't be friends, you can't be lovers, right? So you must learn how to work. It could be a song, but you have to learn how to work together. It's very important. And I believe that the Lord can teach you. It's not all of us. We're not always compatible all the time. But it's a journey. It's a process. It's something that you can learn to do. And your commitment, your first ministry is your home. Besides all the church ministry and all the global ministries, your first ministry is your home. It's your husband, it's your wife. So you must learn to work together.
Work together, work together. I was gonna ask you later on, what is the bedroom name that you were called, but you said it. Nay, I heard it. I heard nay.
Yeah, two times. You say it twice, so I usually
Yeah. So I'm glad I didn't have to ask.
it's
So now I have to ask you, Pastor Q, what is your bedroom name she calls you?
I call him babe.
yeah,
Babe,
That's our
okay, no Q?
He's my baby.
yeah.
Okay.
Because remember, we have another Quincy in the house. So
Oh, okay, that's Quincy Jr., that's right. Okay. Awesome. So Nay, thank you for letting us know that. That's awesome though. That's affectionate.
Nay and babe.
That's easy to, yeah. Nay and babe, okay. But let's go back to your global mission, because I know folks would just like to get into your bedroom, and you'll find a lot of folks are not going to come on to interviews like this. You're not going to see thousands of people coming on here. Guess why? Because we're not talking about you picking up a gun against your wife, like what we just heard about there. If you check that thread, you can see how many people been viewing that. We're not talking about those abuse, those brutality, those domestic violence here on this platform. We're empowering people. We're talking about purpose. We're talking about vision and mission here and stuff like that. But we're not going to have a whole lot of people, but they'll come back later on and hear your story and be moved and be impacted by it. But we're talking about you today, and we're talking about your global mission. Your impact spans from the United States to Kenya to Pakistan. What drives you to go beyond these borders of the United States? What is your drive?
I would say that I have a heart for the nations. We both have a heart for the nation. And I feel like God gave us a co-vocational ministry. Didn't expect it. Actually didn't expect it. But the Lord is the one that gave that to us. About 3 years ago, must be 2 or 3 years ago, the Lord asked us to do what is called a global food distribution. So we started just distributing food, just partnering with various leaders in different countries to distribute food on the same time on the same day at the same time during the month of July. And we started, just feeding the people in the communities that were less fortunate. And that global outreach of distributing, essentials to various communities started spreading. And then more people started partnering, more ministries wanted to partner. Until now, the global ministry, I believe last year, we were able to touch 25 or 30 different countries where we were all just serving essentials and food in various countries and towns. And that made me love global ministry even more. And then the countries started reaching out. Leaders from various countries. I want to mention Evangelist Sega reached out from Pakistan. He said, I love what we do. We're going to do this more often. Then we had a 3-day medical mission camp. And you could see that when you see the 1,500 families got medication that they wouldn't be able to afford otherwise, something changes inside of you. And then the women in Pakistan, that outreach, they were able to get food and clothing. People that are modern day slaves received new dresses. Then we started God led us to start a sewing and skills institution in Pakistan. And then in Kenya, there were families that were getting Bible study. They were being fed weekly in the Bible study. And that's where David Maynard comes in. He and his wife opened up their homes so that every week we would have Bible study and we'd also feed them with snacks and clothes and food and things that they enjoyed. We have grown this fundamental global ministry that has just been blossoming, and we thank God for what He's doing. And I feel like at the heart of this is the Christ. Jesus, He's the one that says, feed my lamb, feed my sheep. Do you love me?
Yes.
Feed my people, feed my
Feed
lamb.
my people. Yeah.
That's the call. That's the Great Commission.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you, Nadine. But I can't leave out Pastor Q in this one because I know you said a whole lot. Because I was going to ask Pastor, what is something that for you saw internationally that really shaped or changed your perspective forever that you would have seen overseas?
The tangible blessing. Sometimes we speak about it, but when you could see it for yourself, and I have to give credit. I was part of a ministry that not only spoke about it, but went out and did it. So my first mission trip to Haiti was an eye-opening thing. And I encourage you, it's one thing to donate. It's one thing to help prepare. But when you are boots on the ground and you see the sights and all of your senses are engaged and you're driving around and you're like, oh, wow, I've been very spoiled. But then you realize it's the grace of the Lord that there are people who are living under certain conditions that I had to bring back. It actually helps me to be a better father, right? Not only do I don't tolerate wasting food and because I know that there's a need all over the place. I'm not going to raise children. You take a bite of something and you throw it halfway in the garbage. Or you take a sip of something and then you just leave it there. What are we doing? When I go through things like the global feeding, Pastor Nadine did an of course I have it. She did an excellent job researching about how poverty-stricken certain parts of the world are. Even right here in the U.S., even right here in New York, in Queens, New York, one of the most underserved. One of the things she did was recently was with the sanitary napkins.
Yes, in Kenya.
And I've heard this too, being with Caribbean Girls Mission of Hope. I've heard the need all over the world trying to recycle and sharing and missing school because they don't have the proper. Come on. When I went down to Haiti after that earthquake, all the buildings, everything is just down. I spent a few years in Trinidad, so I don't have the stories like Pastor Nadine does about how the difficulties of even getting water from one side. You fill up water from a well, and then you have to haul that all the way back. But here we are. We're leaving lights on. We have air conditioning running. Nobody's in the room. You talk about we're just pushing start on a car. Well, not nowadays the gas prices are high, but normally we just run in your car, right?
Right.
not nowadays, but so it's for me, it was the need. The Lord doesn't make mistakes. That's why He put me in areas of being a servant all the time. What is police work? DJ Quinn, we're expecting to serve. One of the best things I've seen or I experienced is going into the police academy. There was a big sign. It says, "Enter to learn, go forth to serve." And that's what it's all about. You don't. My mother told me this. Just don't say, "God, please bless me, bless me, bless me." When you're praying, say, "Lord, bless me, so I could be a blessing to others."
That's right. That's right. Pastor Q, I want you to think about this question, but I'm going to ask Nadine this one first, right?
Yeah.
I mean, your travels and in your ministry, was there a time that you encountered or, had a resistance of danger while doing your work overseas or here in the U.S. In terms of your security? Some resistance?
Yeah. Let me think about it. Of a time when I felt unsafe, you mean? During
yes, correct.
Maybe missions or things like that. Well, there's always a chance that things are not going to go the way that you planned. And I remember when we went to Kenya last year, all this ICE movement was going on, and people were being detained. Not that I was in that situation or that category, but there were other people traveling along with us that were. And our greatest prayer was that they would be, would not be detained or they will not be stopped. see, and God answered our prayers because they were not. The worst case scenario, we got to Kenya, and one of the missionaries, he started sharing that we have all of these donations, things that we're going to donate it, and they gave us a big tax because they taxed us for all those donations that were coming in. But that was the worst case. We stayed in the airport for about 2.5 hours more than we were supposed to, but that was the worst case. No one got stopped. Nobody was detained. No one was pulled aside. So just a mere fact, the traveling situation right now is uncertain. And yes, I would say that that would be the most terrifying part. Even this year, we were planning to go to Pakistan in October, and my Pakistan leaders, they called and said, this may not be the best time to travel because of the bombing and the things that just occurred in the middle of this war. It won't be the time. So we had to cancel that trip to Pakistan. So right now, it's a lot of uncertainty in this climate. So it could make you fearful. But at the end of the day, we have to put it in and leave it in God's hands.
Great, Pastor Q. As a husband who is in law enforcement, I come back to you that same one. Yeah. If my wife is traveling, like Reverend Dr. Ambassador Nadine Grigsby is traveling,
yes,
I would want to know who's picking her up.
Absolutely.
Who's bodyguarding her? Who is going to give her water, food? Because listen, jealousy and all manner of stuff comes into play, and I need to know that. Look, my what you call my priority, is taken care of. My merchandise is taken care of. I know as a cop you worry about that. Tell us about your experience with her being away from you, or your concerns of her safety, and then give us your experience in your own pushbacks and you traveling.
So my own will be the exact opposite. So you're absolutely right. Sometimes it could be overhearing a conversation. She's on a committee. They're planning to go someplace. They're traveling here. And I'm not going to interject while she's in conversation, but I'm going to speak to her after. What is the game plan? Where are you going and who? With who? Do I know any of these people? And listen, ladies, I don't want it to come off as sexist, but yeah, if I hear it's the 12 of you going to some remote place and so, I don't know if you'll be joining them. I would feel better if I was there. And I'll get to that with my experiences. But yeah, I know this woman here, a cat. The only thing she doesn't do is purr. And I think she does purr sometimes.
Like a cat.
Like a cat. So she has a great stature, demeanor. She has a high heel. She's 6'2", standing over me. But I know she's a kitty cat. And just me being who I am in my, career, and I'm the one who's looking out for others. So when I go on missions, I don't feel the danger. I'm more keeping a watchful eye just based off experience. So now I'll go to my own. It can be a challenge, but remember there's lessons to learn. So of course, my wonderful wife packs my clothes to go to Haiti. The same Haiti I'm talking about that's been impoverished, went through a lot. I take out a jersey, a t-shirt to wear. It's a nice white Nike shirt. I reach again, I see a nice pair of nice white Uptown Air Force Ones and jeans with the tag still on it. And I said, oh my God. You trying to get me set up here? So fast forward the story, I wore none of it. Because that is how you get into trouble, right? Not a negative thing. She's looking out for me. She bought some brand new things, but not to go where I'm going. Luckily, I took my work boots with me, and I had a little old pants that I washed and wore again. I remember shaving in Haiti. Half my head was done, and the electric power just went off. Right? That's where we are. And I say, hey, what happened? Did it trip? She said, no, that's the way the country is. Half of the grid gets to get powered on from this time. So, from 8 to 10 p.m. and then 10 p.m. it shuts off for everybody. So imagine that. See what I'm saying? So again, is it smart to go out at certain times of the day? Speak. Use good judgment. When I got to the airport, I always gravitate to the police. And I said, hey, how is what's the 911 system like in Haiti? And the guy started to laugh at me. He said, sir, we don't have I think I gave him an example. I said, what if there's a missing child or something? He said, sir, our 911 is to protect the assets of the country, right?
Wow.
But he said, the police are stationed at the gas pumps, at their version of the Home Depot. You don't call and say, hey, my child didn't come home yet. Well, go look for him. What are you calling the police for? So again, wherever I am, I'm very super conscious of my surroundings. You'll never even see me go into a restaurant and have my back turned or anything. Nope, it's all tactical all day, every day, even to this day. You know, and I'm a use. You know, you didn't train in defensive tactics and all this good stuff. That's where I come in. So I like to be with her to go to missions, but again, I've kind of vetted some of the places she's gone. Right? She wanted to go to certain places, and I said, yeah, no, that's not gonna work. So when she goes to places, she comes back more beautiful. She went to missions in Nigeria. I went to pick her up from the airport. I didn't even recognize her. They did her hair, they braided her hair. She's radiant, her skin's glowing. I said, what kind of mission trip is this? But yeah, I say this, but yeah, the challenges is to learn and to be conscious of. Anywhere you're going to, look at what's going on in the country, what's happening there, where you are, how to dress. Obviously, you're not wearing jewelry and you're not going anywhere with these earrings on. Take that off. Take the lipstick stain off. Tie your hair in a little, right? You blend in. And we're smart. You know, she has she grew up in the Caribbean, so she knows. And the combination of being in law enforcement, we're very savvy when it comes to that.
But was there a time that you felt someone was coming too close? This person don't look too right. Let me just step on in between and be that bridge between the two. Was there a time that you felt so threatened that someone might be doing her harm?
Yeah. I've diffused some things, and you know, sometimes language barriers could be challenging, right? I don't speak Creole, right? So you clearly know something's wrong, and these are the lessons you learn. As a tourist, as an American, doesn't matter if you're black, white, brown, yellow, whatever, they see you as an opportunity. So I knew they were overcharging us. Part of the mission trip, one of my missions, is to help paint a school that was being built. And the people were so honest. They were like, hey, you have American money, so we overcharge you. By the time we took the paint out, I was like, this is watery. We would have to paint over this thing 4 or 5 times. And they're like, that's the point. Right? So you could come back and buy more. We're not going to give you our good paint. Yeah, I never told you this. The good paint is reserved for the people who live here. So again, you know, I'm not going to, once I hear the hostility, I say, it's okay. It's okay. We've had times where we bought desks and chairs, and even to get it off, you have to pay extra to get it off the container. And then they need another set of people to take it from the container to the truck. Then you got to pay another set of people to take it from the truck to the location, right?
Wow.
So you get, don't get into arguments. You're in a foreign land. That's not the point. The point is you're doing it for the children. You're doing it for those in need.
But it can be challenging though, because you can see how you're targeted. You know, in these foreign, sometimes you're targeted, and they want more from you because they think they're coming in with U.S. right? And in desperate times, people take desperate actions, and they're not afraid to hurt you. They will hurt you to get what you have.
Oh yeah, I didn't leave with anything. I told you the suitcase that you packed for me. You notice how it was very light when I gave back.
Yeah.
I gave, because they're like, you take the shoes. I said, of course. Take the shoe off, you take your shirt off, and it's yours, right? Even if it was in the street, I wouldn't. If that was the only pair of shoes that I had, and I didn't pack my boots that day, I mean, have to lose. Give it. You're not going to get into confrontation over a pair of shoes. You have to use wisdom, right? Or dirty. I don't know. They find another way. You ask if somebody else, switch with somebody, something. But yeah, never came too confrontational. It's more like a little bit of disappointment, right? Yeah.
Well, shouts out to the folks. Yeah. Thank you so much for that, Pastor Kurt. I thought you were done. Nadine, I'm talking to a power couple right here. And I got to tell you guys, I enjoy my stay in Kenya, man. I stayed at the House community. Yeah, I got a chance to get in to see Nairobi. I went to a village there. I saw the tents. I met with my tribes. They said what tribe I would have been part of, the Zenabi tribe, because of my size. And those kind of people, they throw rocks at people. So I saw my tribesmen and women. I had a chance to see the museum and go to the library and went to the market square and then just refresh my mind on my days of standing on the market square and putting a mat down on the road and just selling your produce and selling your baskets and your bags and all that stuff in Ghana. I had a good experience of that. But I also want to welcome the folks who are now struggling in, like Miss Joy Carrell and Gigi George from the Gigi Show, Elizabeth Antrim and Eustace Peters and Sharon Thornton. Hello, Sharon. Happy belated birthday to you. Alison Lynch and so many others are coming on in. And those of you incognito, I hope that you have a question for this power couple. They can definitely make a difference in your life and sharing their experience with you. But we're talking to this power couple here, and we want to segue into this United Nations and global influence, if I may. You both have had connections with the United Nations. There's a powerful platform over there, right? United Nations. What is your first experience walking into that environment? What was that first experience? I mean, when I came to this country, that's where I wanted to work. I was just beyond that mark, that age, because I came when I was 30 years old, a few months over 30 years old, 1995. And the cutoff age was 29. I heard that it's a beautiful place to be in. And so even though I passed the test and everything, they said, oh, your age, sir, your age, so they dealt with ageism since then. But tell me what it is, your first experience getting into that environment of the United Nations.
Definitely. I remember for me, it's truly an honor, and it's also a responsibility. I get a chance to at the United Nations, we get a chance not just to represent our faith, but also to be a voice. And a voice for those who are often unheard, especially for women and young girls. I get a chance to advocate for justice, for peace, for opportunity. And like, for example, the month of March was CSW, Commission on the Status of Women. And I had a chance to meet so many change agents, so many women who are making a difference in their community. They are change makers. They come from all around the world to the UN, and they reinforce their belief, they reinforce their faith. They take action, they create real impact. And that really inspires me. I could just sit down under these various anointings, various mantles, and learn. I'll forever be a learner of the Word of God, but forever be a learner from people who has gone before and have been there, done this, and have changed lives, and it inspires us now to become change makers. So that's one of the biggest things with the United Nations for us. It's like it gives you that moral compass to leadership. You really learn a lot when you sit through these workshops. Like our focus is gender equality, it's youth empowerment, it's about building clean hands and pure heart communities, people that live out their true motive and intent with integrity. And I was reading, one of my favorite authors is the man that wrote The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, Stephen Covey. And he says you have to execute around the promises that you make to others and make to yourself with integrity. And I've learned about that from these change makers that I meet at the United Nations. And I'm just grateful to be a peace ambassador, and I take it seriously. It's not just a title for me, it's a mantle.
Awesome. Peace ambassador. But did you feel prepared, or did it stretch you, Nadine?
I was not prepared at all. I didn't know the first thing of being a peace ambassador. What does it mean? I remember attending a CSW event, and I was given an appointment as a United Nations peace ambassador. So what does this mean? But like every other thing, I was about to dive in and do my research. And I realized what a huge responsibility was handed to me that day. And I was absolutely not prepared, but I was prepared to grow. And I wanted to learn, I wanted to grow. And we're still growing. It's not, you never know everything. And I pray God will continue to use this leadership, will continue to use this asset, this mantle, this responsibility to make an impact in the world. But I wasn't prepared.
I tell you. Well, I'm glad you were stretched. You know, when your mind is stretched, it shouldn't return to its original state. But Pastor Q, how did this feel to have an ambassador living in your home?
He's an ambassador too.
Yeah, but she did this first, and I said, first of all, I encourage everybody, whether on your own or part of a trip, to go to the United Nations. Remember, I'm a little bit spoiled because that building is close to me, right? Literally, I work right in Grand Central Terminal, and I can walk. Sometimes I go to lunch And just driving by all the time, driving past the UN to get on that FDR, and you just see the flags as you look over to your left, and you know what it means globally. You know what it represents, and it's peace. That's always been, and we need it more than ever right now, right? Where there's conflict all over the world. And I believe that's the place where meetings are going to be held, and issues will be discussed, and we come together. If we didn't have that, what would the world be like if everybody thought of themselves as an individual king? We'll be at war all the time. But I just wanted to represent, when you see your flag up there and all the other flags from all over the world, it's a beautiful thing. And I believe that we have what we call a mandate to promote peace, global peace and unity, right? As the scripture says, behold how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity. Psalm 133, one of my mother's favorites. And I told you that's the foundation I had. That was her favorite scripture that she shared with us. So as we get older, we'll understand, hey, we have to be part of the solution here. Right? It's very easy for the enemy to seems like it's something gets stirred up every few years, every few months, as soon as we change from one administration to another. But I'm glad to know that there's a place. There was a UN peacekeeper, one of the leaders, Kofi Annan, right, who held that position for a long time. And he brought such stability to the various regions around the world. So I was fortunate to go to class trips, but it's much different going as a youth to going right now as an adult. So it's a privilege and an honor to step into that building.
Awesome. Thank you both for that. I'm speaking to Pastor Q and Nadine here, Power Couples here on the forefront today, CRL 365. Those of you on Facebook, please get over there to YouTube and find my YouTube channel and subscribe. I need followers. I need you to get also into my other Facebook page so I can have enough to carry my life over there. So find me on Facebook. Is DJ Quinn on Facebook. DJ Quinn on Facebook. DEJAY Quinn on Facebook. And follow me over there. That's my professional page. I'm working on it. And I'm not as popular as Pastor Q and Nadine, but I'm getting there. So help me guys, subscribe, like, and subscribe, and so I can build it up so I can talk to more people like this two couple right here. We got Minister Oscar Valero watching, and we got also Apostle William Harper is watching there from Wise Digital One in Guyana, South America, and President Ambassador Rhonda Ben Valero is asking the question: what does it truly mean to be one in marriage while still honoring your individual identities? What does it truly mean to be one in marriage while still honoring your individual identities? The both of you, any of you.
Well, it's biblical, right? So we understand the components of leaving your mother and your father's home, and the two of you shall become one. And the difference, the most important thing that you said, Ambassador Rana, about one is that, think about it. I'm trying to position myself on the screen to show you. This is the type of one we are. I'm on this side, she's on this side. We will never be the same person. We have different personalities and everything, right? So we're here on the same level as partners. But there comes a time where we now have to say, hey, let's turn up, because now we're working towards a closer relationship with the Lord. And this is where we're meeting. So even though we have, listen, she has two sisters right now, and her mother. I grew up in this huge family. Everything we did as a big group, I could go on and on. But the whole point is we have come together. I like to do things like this. I'm always in a rush, and I have to wait for her, take her time to get dressed. It's amazing. I remember the first time. Where did we travel to? But all I know is we went to the airport. We have certain amount of time to get to that gate, and look who's dolled up with 6-inch heels on, walking through the airport. And I think we went on a date, and I told her, meet me at a certain time. We're gonna go to watch a movie. She wasn't there. DJ Quinn, I'm not gonna sit in the first row of the theater. And I told her, you know what? Let's just go straight to dinner. Because you got to set the pace, but she also has stories for me. I don't even want you guys to know where we went on our first date. So I'm a money man who says, hey, hold on to this. Where do we go first? You're not going to say. All right.
We went to
Dunkin' Donuts, baby. Let's go. Right?
You know, it was at that time when I should have been like, this guy is up to no.
So, Nadine, was he a frugal guy?
Why you
Would you
saying
say
what?
that? Would you say he was a frugal guy?
That past tense, DJ Quinn.
We didn't want to spend any money.
Present tense. Present. That's how. And then you know what's funny? I tell you this though. I'm very proud to tell you that my children have taken on that.
He's very proud.
I'm very proud. You could put your fancy Louis Vuitton, Gucci, whatever name you want to put. You know, people Balenciaga, all these whatever. My kids don't operate like that. They want a nice shirt and a nice pant, and off they go. They don't get caught up, and that's what you know. I know it wasn't part of the original question, but yeah, as Ambassador Rhonda said, yeah, we became one because now we have to say, hey, where is our priority? What are we going to do? And we do have a lot more in common. Don't let her fool you. She's a queen to go and book a trip. If you leave it up to me, I'm saving all my money. I'm not going nowhere. Why? Give to who? For what? We could go to the ShopRite, buy a nice meal here and sit down. And she's like, come on. We got to take the kids out and go somewhere at a restaurant. I'm like, all right. But then she's smart because she'll book a restaurant in advance, nice prices, well done. Right? We go there, we have a good old time. So you have to be on the same page. You know, I'm sure I see myself, you know, it's funny that Ambassador Rhonda asked the question when I see Oscar, her husband, and something just gels with me. Even you, DJ Quinn, it's just being around people with such humility.
Yeah.
If you weren't that way, I don't know if I would gravitate towards you. Every time I see you, you have 6 gold chains on and a big hat with a feather coming out and fur coat. I don't know. But I just love being around you and Oscar and, you know, David, all these people that I surround myself with and I'm close to, we have similar things, right? We put our priorities somewhere else, not just on shiny things. So if that answers your question, right? Individual. She still likes to get. I still have to wait.
Okay. Well, we share that in common. We have that commonality. We have an hour is good time. That's okay. Yeah. So I feel you, Pastor Q. I feel you.
Thank you. It's not me alone.
But yeah, you're right. I
also want to
go add to that.
You should be one in mind, right? Be one in mind. Realize that you have someone that is depending on you to share, right? So you don't get up and leave the house, nobody knows where you are.
Correct.
You don't make decisions as if you're living a single life. So to be one means you're one in mind, you know? You keep somebody else in your thoughts, somebody that you consider, you share your decisions with, you ask them to be part of your decision making, and they're a part of yours. And that's a part of being one. So you have 2 individual identities, but you share each other's lives, and so you become one, right?
Thank you so much for answering that question. I hope it satisfies you, Ambassador Rhonda Ben Valero. And hello to you, the folks there in the Bronx. Let's go back to our conversation, right? Some people feel like global institutions talk a lot, talk more than they act. How do you ensure that your role creates real impact, both of you ambassadors?
How do you? I'll let Pastor Q go first.
Well, be a part of things, right? Just don't get a credential or just don't get something or do something just to say, hey, look at me, right? So when you find yourself enjoying Caribbean Girls Mission of Hope, just an example, what's Apostle Houston, Evangelist Joy, what's her?
Ministry of Care.
Ministry of Care, right? So this is the reason why I'm naming different things is because, hey, you want to take this message global, but it's only about me? No. I want to be a part of multiple streams of connecting people and doing the right thing. So UN is a broad umbrella, and it's almost like a fraternal organization. Be a part of it, right? We have newsletters. We get I already know to put aside 3 vacation days, 3 or 4 vacation days a year, because when March comes, I need you to go here. We're going here. So I'm already ready. I already have my suit together. Sometimes I'll go. This year was it was tough, but it was fun because it was close to where I work. And I was just like bringing a suit. My coworkers would see me leaving early. I'm leaving a little early, guys. I'm going somewhere with my wife, and it's to the UN. It's too, and then I sit there attentively, and you're learning. I mean, between last year and this year, last year was spectacular, right?
Yeah.
And you work with another UN ambassador to get these things done,
Yes.
right? So it's not a one-man show. That's why I love the umbrella. We come together and help each other. And that's what's been happening. And you're going to learn wonderful things.
Yeah.
I always learn.
And DJ Quinn asks, how do you ensure that you're continuing to make an impact? Right? There's one word for that. And it's consistency. It's consistency. Even if you are not on a global stage and you have 1,000 followers, there could be one person that's looking up to you, and you can be consistent. You are changing a life. Whether you are teaching how to prepare for life, whether you're teaching life lessons, whether you give them, or whether you are yourself a constant in prayer or constant in what you do, because people are looking up to you, and you want to make sure that you are that role model, that you are that example. You know, you went, according to Michelle Obama, and I love her book, you know, it says that when others go low, you go high. You keep the high hat on so that your life speaks for itself. You don't want to be the person that when you're having an issue, the F-bombs is falling out of your mouth. You want to stay consistently a type of individual. You know, if you say that you're a man or woman of God, then be a man or woman of God. So others, whether it's one person or 10,000 looking at you, consistency will allow you to keep that constant impact. Whether it's in your community, whether it's in your nation, or even in your home. I have 4 children that are looking up to me. Consistently.
You have to model behavior.
Model behavior.
You know? Exactly. Thank you so much for that. Pastor Q, you were trying to add to that?
No, I was saying that also the spotlight doesn't have to be on you. Today, where are we? It's forefront today.
Hey,
DJ Quinn. Yeah. That's what was on my calendar today. Circle. Today with DJ Quinn. Make sure you're ready. I went out to do some exercise today, but I know my wife told me, make sure you're back here and you're ready at this certain time. And because it's a sign of respect that you are putting out an excellent product, and I want to be a part of it. Caribbean girls, you know that's on my calendar too. Right?
Yeah, our MC is for the event happening next Saturday from midday to 4 p.m.
Yeah. We do something called a midnight run with Dr. Joanne Hart.
Yeah.
It's not all about this is me, you know? It's about others and working together. That's why, you know, united is the key word, right? The UN we spoke about just now, United Nations. So we come together for wonderful purposes. Amen.
Pastor Q, me serving in law enforcement and as a state compliance investigator, for me, most of my life career has been having positions with power over people as against power with people. Okay, so let's get into some law enforcement and ministry conversations. So Pastor Q, your dual role as a unique law enforcement and a pastor, how do you balance authority with compassion?
Oh, it's in the word authority. And where do you get your authority from? Right? In the police world, there's something you probably didn't remember doing it. You make your pledge. I do hereby pledge and declare to uphold the constitutions of the United States of America and the states of New York and Connecticut to the best of my ability. So help me God. That's what I said. Every promotion that I took, every promotion. And listen to the words. I even love, and I usually yell out, people laugh. I say, so help me God, because that's the authority. The same thing in ministry. I could pray for us. And you know what I conclude my prayers with? In Jesus' name. That's where the authority comes from. That's where the balance comes from. It's a very delicate balance. Both roles are about service. Both roles, protection, right? Not only for me, but I also want the youth and those coming behind us to make good decisions too. Leadership, it's part of who you are, right? What's the definition of integrity that I learned? It's who you are
when others are not watching. Yeah.
You got it. You got it. Yeah. So we share these similar values, right? So my faith guides my actions in and out, right? Both in law enforcement and out of there. You see, the beauty of law enforcement, right, or anything that you're doing that's for the world, right? Our jobs. If they let you go, they let you go, and that's the end of the story, right? Right now, I could retire anytime. I could walk away. But you see, it doesn't work like that in ministry. That's what keeps me so balanced. The pastoral responsibilities are up here, right? We said it over and over during this program. Ministry starts at home. So the way I treat Pastor Nadine is a direct reflection of my relationship with the Lord. The way I speak to my children is a direct reflection. You can't hide that. We could shut all the lights off in here and you won't be able to see us, right? We could hide our faces. I could hit take the power off the screen and you only hear my voice. But you know who's always watching? Your Lord and Savior. So that balance is great. And that's the lessons you learn. So it's almost like do the right thing, not just stay out of trouble because it's the right thing to do.
And have you ever faced a situation where your faith directly influenced how you handle a law enforcement decision?
Yeah.
I think I have more issues of my faith always guiding it. So it's almost, what do they call that? I know on the vehicles they call it a governor. You know what I'm talking about? Like there's a fail safe that you could only drive a certain miles per hour, right? Or on a weapon, there's always a place to put it on safe, right? Your firearm. It's always something to help you not go out of control. Do you know when you deploy a taser, boom, the projectile goes out. You hit a button and it sends the shock. Do you know that there's a time where you have to wait? It will not send another shock again, right? So I'm giving you this example just to show you we need to have something, a higher authority that says, cool out, that's enough. I pride myself, that's all, I've been doing this role since I got hired. Where it's like, all right, okay, I think we're good. I think everything's under control. Or just to help people out. When people get engaged, you get this tunnel vision and the anger boils and you can't control yourself. But I love the fact that I can help others and say, okay, good. And now I take it into supervisory roles. Yes, police work is still a very rough thing to do. It's not always easy on the eyes all the time, right? But again, we have to have something that brings us down. Even raising the children, you said it earlier, someone is going to come from that park and jump on this couch here. Someone's going to take that shoe from outside and walk all over the carpet. Or are we going to fly off in a rage? You can't do that, right? I said, maybe Pastor Nadine has called me so many times, and I tell her, yeah, there's a protest going on right now. Yeah, so what do you want to eat for dinner? I said, I just told you. I said, whatever you want to cook on, all right? Okay, all right. But instead of, hey, did I just, and then imagine going home. One thing that we spoke about during the marriage, because I already knew that this is going to take a lot out of me. I said, when I come home, it's the place of refuge. Outside is where I have to dig deep. And people cursing me out and yelling and screaming at me. I have to take that. That comes with the job. But you see, when I come home, tranquility. And she's doing an excellent job, I must say. Thank you.
Awesome. Sure, she definitely is that kind of wife that you want to come home to, right?
Yes, that's part of the balance.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Nadine, for keeping our law enforcement officer, so motivated to continue to serve. Thank you so much on behalf of the people that they serve over there, But with this rising concerns about police brutality globally, right, Pastor Q, what responsibility do officers of faith have in changing that narrative?
Being a good example. It's a must. We have to use the word MUST, must set a good example. And you have to have a history of it. Let me tell you, I work with grown men and women. And I just had a conversation. I don't know, we just speak. People know who you are. It's amazing. I saw 2 retirees yesterday. Oh no, I spoke about it on the morning devotion this morning. I saw 2 retirees yesterday, and they asked me, "Hey, how you doing? You still here, huh? Still going strong?" And I had a jacket on, and they opened the jacket. They said, "What's your rank now?" They look, they said, "Oh my God, you made it all the way up there, man! I see you doing good things. How's the pastoral work going?" I said, "I never spoke to this man about me doing any pastoral work." So, like you said, whether it's they look at the name Grigsby, and they see it on some type of social media. I've gone to what we have is a promotion ceremony, and we have clergy, assigned clergy to the police department, right? In the form of a chaplain. And when the chaplain can't make it, no one's in panic mode. Oh, the chaplain's not feeling well. Who's going to do the prayers? Without even blinking, they're like, "Oh yeah, Grigsby will do it." You know? So without hesitating, I say, "Sure, no problem. Anything else? Any other issues we have? Okay, let's begin." And people are amazed that that's a part of who you are. So to answer it, this whole police brutality, leadership means a lot, as you can see it in our country, right? It sets the tone. People make comparisons between presidents because they see one as this way carrying himself and the other one carrying. It's even in your own household. Everybody's going to feed off of you. You're going to take that into your community. We had snow not too long ago, right? No more snow, please. While we were shoveling outside, we're talking and we're seeing neighbors and the whole communities outside all trying to dig out our cars, and we're just having conversation after conversation. At one point, we split up. You were helping shovel one neighbor's place. I went downstairs helping shovel another neighbor. And at the end of the day, they know I do police work. Every place I've lived is only a matter of time because they're like, I remember one guy was like, "I knew it. I see that police car," because I get assigned a vehicle. So it's no secret, so they know. And it's good to be consistent. Talk with your community. You're a part of it. The way you address the officers, the way when you're walking down the halls. There's a big joke going on with me and my job. They say, if you're in a rush, don't go anywhere with Grigsby. Don't go anywhere with him because he's got to say hello to everybody. So I take the family.
That's true.
They come to New York for the Macy's, the Thanksgiving Day parade, and it's coworker after coworker who's just like, "Hey, this guy," and again, that's the tone that we need to set. Once police know that we're part of the community, then I think we look at each other as that's my brother, that's my sister. Then I think that will help ease any tension that we have.
I think what you just expressed is you leading with love. And a lot of people don't recognize that. Sometimes we ourselves don't even realize that we're leading with that love in our heart. And that brings me to remember I attended a launching day in Michigan, and shouts out to the folks at the Empowerment Institute for Michigan, transforming leaders and organizations through love. And they teach leaders how to go to work and have joy at work and how to lead with love. And so I think every department needs to have them to come and train our leaders, our CEOs, and about how to lead in love and how to have joy at work. So if anybody interested, you can find them www.empoweringtruelove.org, www.empoweringtruelove.org. But we're going to get on into this. I plan to keep you guys for 1 hour. But with two of you, we're past that time.
Yes.
I don't know if you have anything else to do. I'll let you go and we can come back. But if you don't mind, I can finish this interview with you now.
Yeah.
Are you guys good to go?
We're good.
All right, good. So since you say that, I didn't hear that from Nadine. What do you say, Nadine?
You know what? Because she's thinking such a good wife, such a good mother. She's thinking, I gotta put something on for lunch. And, I know that's what I'm like. But that's
I think you guys are impacting lives on this, and when you look at this, you'll feel good about yourselves, and that's what I want people to feel when they leave this platform. When they come on this platform afterwards, when you see yourself and you hear how you responded, that you feel better about yourself and how you're impacting people in the world. So if you don't mind staying, I have some more questions for you. You guys are good to stay?
Yeah.
Y'all are good? All right, awesome. Let's go to empowering women. You, Doctor. Reverend Ambassador Nadine, my friend Nadine. This one is for you. Nadine, your work is empowering women, and empowering women is impactful. What does your real empowerment look like? And beyond that speech and that conference, what does it look like? You empowering women.
Yeah, I have a passion for women. I really do. I love that part of God's creation, not because I'm a woman, but because I see how God used women, right? And how He used them in the Bible, and how He continues to use them on a day-to-day basis. And I love to attach myself and connect with those who feel less fortunate, those who feel like they don't have a voice. So empowering women for me, it's like helping women to have access to education, women that need access to opportunity, creating safe spaces for women to grow. And I think that's what led us to start the Empower Her in Pakistan. And now we're starting Empower Her in Kenya. And I just believe that God can use a woman who has been through, done that, who has grown through her challenges to help to lift barriers, to become a mentor. That's my biggest goal. I love mentoring other women who didn't originally believe in themselves. But now you can see, oh my God, there's hope. Because if little old Nadine can do it, then I can do it too, right? Helping women to champion it with women voices in every sphere, in every atmosphere, and knowing that regardless of the color of your skin or your height or your weight, it doesn't matter. God calls you. God has seen something in you. And that because you're still alive today, there is something on the Lord's timeline for you as a woman to do. Right? So, and that's how I go around doing that in New York, in New Jersey, in Pakistan, in Kenya. And that's not going to change. I'm raising a woman. My daughter is 14 years old. And I want it to become everything that God wants it to be, without any idiosyncrasies, without any shyness, without feeling like she's less than. I wanted to know that she can be all that God called her to be. And every other woman that comes in contact with me, I want to rub that off on them. We have women that suffer in silence. They go through depression in the night and they smile in the day. And you don't know that they cry themselves to sleep. If I can help another woman to smile, then I feel like I've done what God has called me to do in the aspect of empowering women.
Awesome. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. I know some women are feeling empowered already, but what are some barriers that women are still facing that people don't talk about enough?
Yeah. There are many women. They are facing lack of skill set. They're not equally paid. They feel like the men are still making more money than them. You know what I mean? There are a lot of women that's still in the shut up mode. When I say shut up, that is a dismissive word, but they haven't found their voices. There are a lot of women in church who are still sitting in the pews, and they need to walk into their power. They need to get out of the pews and step into their power. So many of us, as women, and I believe that when one woman takes a stand, it's a ripple effect. It touches lives. It touches neighborhoods. Remember, women, we are the one that give birth. So we are always producing, not only children, we're producing food, we're producing, right? We help our husbands to be good soulmates, to help them produce more. So I feel like when one woman does it, it helps all the others. And I feel like empowering another woman is a really huge responsibility for each woman in our communities and in our home, especially if you're also raising a woman.
Yeah. Well, happy belated Women History Month to you, Nadine, and to all the women on the thread. It's never too late to say that to you all. We celebrate you all year round, but you have a special month and a special day also.
That's right.
And so I want to give you mine on behalf of all the fellas, right?
Thank you.
But do you believe that society sometimes celebrates women publicly but limits them privately?
I believe that. We have the month March 8th. Everyone know March 8th is International Women's Month, like DJ Quinn just shared. We have a month. Yeah, but privately, women really being compensated the way that they ought to be. Women really stepping into those roles or being allowed the opportunity to step into those roles where we see masculinity all over it. There's some professions, and I don't want to name it. I see, I go there in the firehouse. Is only men, right? I need to say that. Police work dominates. Men are dominating in those areas, and even blue collar jobs as well as executive positions. There's a lot more men there. And I'm thinking, is it because the woman is not rising to the occasion? Maybe she's not afforded the opportunity. We're still waiting for the president of the United States to become a woman, right? Okay, I'm not going to get into trouble today, but I really feel that we are, in some areas we are limited, but I pray to God that we'll see growth. We want the president of the United Nations to become a woman. We're still waiting for that.
Yeah. We some folks say nah, not now, and this is the consequences we deal with right now. But some folks are still thinking about it that I should have. But but in my own little humble ways, I try to empower women. I teach them to drive. I taught them to be good secretaries in my church. Any way I can teach, empower women. I've been doing that before even understanding the word empowering women, and so I continue to do that. Any woman that I know that wants to start something up and I have that knowledge, I do my part. I mean, not every woman would come back and say, "You're the one who made me think about it," or who put fire under my feet. But as long as they feel empowered and move on to do things and soar, I think I've done my part. And I hope that men would continue to support the women in their household, in the church, in the community. Empower women, because guess what? It's about a community. It's not power over women. It should be power with women.
I love that. Not power over women. It's empower women. I love it.
Yeah.
Teach women. I love that.
Awesome. So on this platform, that's what we try to do: raise awareness in those areas. But I'm going to get gradually away from from these other things that might be a little personal. But Pakistan and global, your service over there. Let's talk about that. Your work in Pakistan is especially powerful. What inspired you to focus on women and skills development there?
So in Pakistan, we've helped women gain skills, and God led us to starting that skill sets program and sewing school. We have a sewing school there because I understood that there were many women in Pakistan that's not afforded the opportunity to get a job. And I said, well, if we at the ministry are able to equip them with a skill set, then they could take those sewing machines, and we give sewing machines to the students, each student that graduate. They can take that sewing machine in their privacy of their home. They can make money, right? Because if I sew for you, you're going to buy the dress for me, right? So even though they were not afforded the opportunity to go out there and get a job, they were equipped with a skill set. Whether to start a business, whether they can do it in the community from their home. They felt a sense of self-worth, their own worth. They had something to bring to the table. And that's the thing. Women need something to bring to the table. And I want my sisters in Pakistan to have something that they can bring to the table for their families, for their neighborhood.
I want to go deeper than that. What moment in that work touched you the most emotionally?
Yeah. I remember one day I was ministering to the ladies, and there was one woman there. She was very ill. And at the end of the ministry, she sent me a message to say that she's not feeling the pain anymore. She's not feeling the hurt anymore. And that really helped me to go on. And then when they share these testimonies and you see that you're making a real difference in the life of someone who wouldn't else be afforded that opportunity, it stretches you and it makes you want to do more and help more of them. So I would say that from the core of my being, it's their sense of lovingness. I mean, these Pakistan women, and they're just so thoughtful. I minister to them on the Zoom. I go in on the Zoom. But from the moment I click and I enter the screen, they'll be throwing flower petals at the screen. They'll be cutting a cake for Pastor Q. The things that they're so creative. I'm like, oh my God, they've given me some Pakistan sisters that are just amazing. And they teach me and I teach them. So I just love connecting with them and helping to make a difference in their lives.
Awesome. What challenges, though, do you face operating in cultures different from your own, possibly?
Yeah, first it was the language barrier because we had to find a translator. But then the translators are so great. I mean, we became good friends, and they were so happy to translate from English to Urdu, which is the language there. And then one day, Evangelist Cynthia, who is the leader of the women's ministry there, she said to me, Pastor Nadine, and she texted me and translated. She said, I can't believe we don't speak the same language, but we minister so well together, right? That was recently, yeah. So I thank God for technology, like Zoom and StreamYard and things like that, where we could connect in another nation And I thank God for that He raises the bar. There's no barrier in prayer. There's no
Mm,
barrier in language. Um, when you have a translator,
No, I also love the way you respect the culture. You come out
mm.
very prepared. You wrap your hair.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, out of respect for the women, I will never go loose like this, right? I will
Ah,
always cover my head. I will cover my shoulders out of respect for them.
yeah, yeah. Nice. Well, folks are learning. I'm talking to Nadine Grigsby and Pastor Q Grigsby here in Forefront today. Let's talk about your Caribbean roots, if I may. Trinidad and Tobago heritage. How has Caribbean culture influenced your leadership and your ministry here in the U.S.?
Yeah, I just love my Caribbean roots. I love being Trinidadian. You know, we have a song that says Trini to the bone. I am Trinidad to the bone. I love the food.
Trini
I
to the
love
bone.
and
That's right.
like I said, when I initially came here, it was such a culture clash, right? But my roots in Trinidad and Tobago, that's the source of my pride. It's the source of my strength. You know, growing up in Trinidad with my mother, who was a single mother and gave birth to me at the age of 16, it taught me resilience. It gave me value like resilience, value like community. She taught us how to pray. My mother taught us how to fast. You know, it was that faith that led me out into the United States of America at the age of 16 with no friends, no family. It's that faith in Jesus Christ that my mother instilled, that Caribbean root. I'm telling you, a lot of our Caribbean families, they are faith-based. They are faith-based. We believe God for a lot of things. And you know,
Mm,
the Caribbean culture, it taught me the importance of family. You know,
mm.
we didn't have a mansion. We lived all together in the same house, and all of my aunts, uncle were in the same community. I could walk
Yeah.
to my auntie's house. I could walk to my uncle's house. I can climb his mango tree, and they come and climb our pawpaw tree, right?
Mhm.
It just was a deep sense of family, a deep sense of hospitality. And I
Mm,
remember I went to high school in Trinidad, in El Dorado Secondary, prayed by Elder Cruz on. And our motto, you know, in Trinidad, the school in the Caribbean, the schools has a motto, right? Was
mm.
through perseverance, success.
Mm.
That was our motto. And we
Wow.
have to say that every day. Through perseverance, success. So all of that is a reflection of the way that we now lead, the way that I now lead today. Those things were so rooted in me, the warmth, the tenacity, the sense of responsibility for others, because I was the oldest of my sisters. So I was responsible for those two sisters when my mom wasn't
Mm,
there. So I learned so much at a tender age. And I thank God because I was able to bring it into this new American culture that is so different, but still it sweetens my leadership. It's like my Caribbean roots is the sugar that
Yeah.
helps
mm,
me, right?
Yeah.
So I'll never forget where I've come from. I always let my heritage inspire me to make a difference wherever I go. And whether
mm.
my story is full of struggles, it's full of power. But that's my story. And that was my rites of passage. And I'm proud to
Is
be.
that where you get your rhythm from? That pan in you as you walk up to the podium? Is that where you get your rhythm from, Nadine? That pan music, that soca music,
That's
Trinity to the bone. I don't know, yeah.
I
All
love
right,
it.
so do you teach Pastor Q some moves from Trinidad? And,
Oh, he teaches me some moves. That's he's all Trinidadian. He is homegrown,
oh,
but his
yeah.
background is all Trinity. So
You know,
Okay,
it's funny that you
okay.
say that because I think the relationship of every mother-in-law, daughter-in-law, this is a blueprint right here. Oh my gosh. Laughing and laughing and laughing. I'm like, and I'm trying to get her attention, but I see she's on the phone, so I don't want to be rude. And then another 20 minutes goes by. And finally I'm like, just to get her attention. And she's like, yeah. I said, I just want a moment of your time. She said, hold on, mother. And she's talking to my mother. I said, you're talking to my mother for 1 hour. You get- they talk every morning. You see how beautiful that is?
she
They're
is.
praying together.
Awesome.
They're fasting together. It's a beautiful thing. And I think that's the culture that makes it so much
Yes.
easier. So, and I can't speak for her, but knowing her, I know that made a difference in her saying or agreeing to be married because you don't want to
Mm,
deviate from what you know your roots. If when you see, and I can say this confidently, uh, it's easier when you have a lot in common.
Yeah.
So that's why I don't look to go out and eat because everything I like to eat, she could cook for me, right?
yeah, that callaloo and everything, huh?
He
Yeah.
loves Trini food. I'm telling you, he wants Trinidadian
Oh
food.
man, why did you say Callaloo? We might have to wrap this up.
I gotta go make callaloo.
Yeah. I went to Trinidad and I know I tasted it there. No folks in Guyana can cook a good callaloo, but in Trinidad it was good, man. I love that callaloo.
What's the national dish in Guyana? What do you?
Cook up rice, pepper pot,
Yes.
you know, method G. We got too many.
I just want to put it out there. I've never had pepper pot. Kashanti or Allison. I'm
Somebody.
just Ambassador Rhonda. I've never had pepper pot.
Yeah,
And
okay.
you taste it.
You would have to get some of the tea party. We're gonna have to bring some pepper pot.
Caribbean girl.
Yeah, and that's a good way to segue to Caribbean Girls Mission of Hope. You've been connected to Caribbean Girls Mission of Hope. What drew you to that mission?
Yeah, you know, I was drawn to that mission because it really aligns with how passionate I am about empowering young women. You know, I remember going to Caribbean Girls Mission of Hope first tea party where they invited me to be the MC. I was like, wow, I'm going to try my best. You know, I got there and I saw these young girls. They were dancing. I saw you, DJ Quinn, you were there marching around with a banner that says, be the light, be the light. I was like, wow, waving. It was just, and I felt it was just, I see your compassion and I see how you're giving back to your own roots, and that synchronized our relationship, right? It was just a natural fit for my heart and our ministry. And from then I was like, I'm a part of this and there's no turning back now. Yeah. And then I introduced my husband. I brought him to one tea party and then he took over. So
I just felt at home.
So now we're both Caribbean.
Yeah.
On Team Caribbean Girls Mission of Hope, right?
It's literally family. Every time I see Ambassador Rhonda and Oscar, their children, and you, DJ Quinn, and that's a family affair. I don't know if everybody knows. You have a lot of new guests today, but you guys work together. That's an amazing thing.
And we see how they help young women gain confidence. I see how they give access to education. There's libraries around the Caribbean. They're building people's homes. They're making people dream bigger for their future. Yeah. And I love how you give that yearly breakdown of what you've done for families. It's just transformative, and I can see tangible impact that you're making in the lives of Caribbean countries all around, and even in local countries. I didn't even know what they were doing in Suriname and in all these various places. So I'm very, very proud of Caribbean Girls Mission of Hope, and I love being part of that program.
One-man band?
Oh, the one-man band. That's what we got to see him again.
Yeah. But it's a good forum because you will hear the stories of how people overcome obstacles, and some of those obstacles you're familiar with. So you're like, okay, right? And it's beautiful. I always say this. It's not a racist thing to see like a President Obama and people love him. Not only the way he carries himself and speak, just in that aspect I'm talking about. But there's something psychological about seeing someone who looks like you, who is ascended and made it to this pinnacle of life, right? This position, and I can't compare to that. But even within the department, you know, it's just being in America, like we said, where the community and police interactions. Because hey, there's a guy who's a leader, who's a supervisor, who looks like me, so I can actually help diffuse or ease the tension, as they say. And one of my first assignments was in a West Indian community in Brooklyn. I was in the 67th precinct. And I had no worries because I know the music, the culture. I'm in the roti shop. And they look at me, like, what is this cop doing in here? Because most of them are, go in there if they're not familiar with it. But yeah, every day where I would walk in, a guy had my food ready for me. And that's a good way for
relationship building. Yeah.
Yeah, so when I see missions, when I see all of you, I said, I feel at home. And it's good to know that there is success. Somebody who sounds like you, dances the same songs, knows the culture and the food, all aspects of it, doing big things. It encourages you to get involved.
This Saturday, it's happening from noon to 4 o'clock there, the VIP court there in New Rochelle. Tell us what the folks can expect from you, this Paul Koppel, man, the MC or the speakers for what are you guys doing for Caribbean Girls on Saturday?
Yeah, we're just so humble and inspired. And one thing I want to say is that we want to stick with the Caribbean Girls Mission of Hope theme, that every girl is going to know, the girl and guys in there is going to know their worth, and they will have the tool that is necessary to shape their future and their destiny. You know, Caribbean Girls Mission of Hope is a place where you can come and rebuild your confidence and have access to so many things. So we want to reiterate the theme, and the priorities and everything that Caribbean Girls Mission of Hope put out there. We just get to reinforce it to those that are going to be in the building on Saturday.
And my role is to make sure that everybody knows about success we do together. Support is necessary, right? So we're not going to deviate from that, because every time we've gone to the program, we see, wow, it's a togetherness, right? So that's what we want to.
We're better together.
We're better together. That's it.
Yeah. Now, folks can still support this event. You know, you guys don't have to be there. You can definitely buy 3, 4, 5 tickets. You can buy the raffle, $20 a book, a ticket. There's, you know, you can get a flight overseas, a free flight with $20. So where do you? How can you be there with a broomstick? You know, $20, and then you can get a ticket overseas. You can get a stay at a hotel. You can get cancellation prices for $20. Where can you go and find that? So you can still buy me out. I still have raffle tickets, and you can still pay for someone and sponsor someone to attend this event, right? You can definitely find more information on the website, CaribbeanGirlsMissionOfHope.com. That is www.CaribbeanGirlsMissionOfHope.com. We're moving real fast because I've kept this power couple too long. They have lunch to prepare, and but I don't want them to come back, because you know sometimes when you come back it's so mundane. Let's knock it out, shall we? So let's talk about marriage and family. You are raising 4 children while leading globally. What keeps you family strong?
Well, first of all, it starts off with a mutual respect. Sometimes I just have to look over or tap, because we want to make sure we're on the same page, same message, on track, right? So the children know we all have a shared vision. Yes, we are going to do something together. Be patient. We're working on it. When we decide, then we will act. So they already know at an early age, don't go here at 10 o'clock, and then at 10:30 in the morning, you're coming to see me. Or in the morning, you go to your mom for something, and in the afternoon, you come to me. So we speak, and we want to be on the same page. We have a deep commitment to serving each other. The world is not going to teach them, right, how to have these relationships. They learn it first at home. So even if they're confused, they know that, hey, our faith anchors everything that we do.
I'll take that. You want to add to that, Nadine?
Oh, no, I agree with him. Our faith anchors everything that we do. I love that. You know, we teaching our children how to be strong and how to serve each other.
Okay, well, maybe you can add to this. How do you protect your family time in the middle of your global demands?
Oh, yeah, that's huge for me. You know what I love is, and I encourage other people to fall in love with, is the dinner table. Bring that back.
Oh, yeah.
Dinner is very, very important to me. I want the table clean and set at dinner time. I want my family to sit down and we have a good, nice dinner with various dishes, and we talk and we laugh and we pray, and each child has their time to pray, because at least we preserve some time as a family together. Bring back the dinner table. If you haven't had dinner with your family in a long time, tonight, ladies,
bring back the dinner table.
He lights a candle, puts it in the middle. I spread the bowl. I put 4 dishes up.
Learn some table etiquette. Teach them some table etiquette.
And I put the rice in a little round bowl, so when it goes in, it's circular, fancy. There's fruit, there's fish, there's veggies. Make it colorful.
I'm telling you, man.
They will
support.
Go ahead, Pastor Q.
It's underrated, because I'm telling you, they're learning valuable skills right there at the table. Number one, if I catch you with your phone, you might not get it back.
Yes, and Pastor Q tells them, put a shirt on. Don't come to the shirt on.
No vest, huh?
We do it.
So it's like dinner is an event for a family, but it's the best time of my day. I get to serve my family and sit down and have a meal with them, and we preserve that time. Don't call me at dinner time.
Yeah. And I'm waiting for them to all get up and leave, and I'm sitting there.
Yeah.
Giving them time to catch themselves. And they come back in their cup and they put it in the sink. Everybody has a role. And that's where it begins. You know, before it's set up, somebody has to set that. Somebody is bringing the things from the kitchen, setting it on the table, and when we're done, together.
Yeah.
You know, we're not going to just teach them, hey, this is how it is. You leave everything and go about your business.
You take your plate and go to your bedroom. No, it doesn't work like that in this house. We're a family.
Right.
Or some kids take it and keep it under the bed for 3-4 days.
Oh, yeah. Oh, not here. No. Yes, it's true.
I've been there. I've seen that. I can tell you that. Yeah, they don't want to eat at the table. They take the food into the bedroom, and then 3-4 days, you see flies in the plate under the bed. You know, so teaching good values, and you know, kids need structure. Kids need structure. We have to be that adult to give them structure. At the end of the day, they'll thank us. You know, I'm so grateful for my mom for teaching me. I went home one time to Guyana, where I'm from, 83,000 square miles, land of many waters, and a young man who was raised with me. His mom was my reputed wife. He went to the bar to get something for us to drink. So his girlfriend, his wife to be, was telling me, "I'm so glad you came. This guy always talked about you. He said you taught him how to turn his shoes, how to clean his shoes on a weekend, how to turn it all facing the same direction." I said, "What? I can't remember I did all of that stuff." But to see how kids learn from what you teach them, and somebody else is benefiting from that core value. You know, simple sitting at the table etiquette, you know. How you clean your shoes on a weekend. I use a toothbrush, clean the edges of your shoes, you know, take off that mess that you might walk on outside, you know. Your feet carries you around the world. Take care of your feet, take care of your shoes, clean your hats, you know, wash them, you know, certain things, you know, instill those good values.
Same training.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man.
Strong, clean roots. I love that.
Yeah, but I'm almost to the part where I take you to a rapid fire segment, and then I'll let you both go and have yourself something to drink. So in the meantime, you can grab you a glass of water, juice, or whatever, because rapid fire is going to get you guys really. But I got one more question before you get into rapid fire. Many leaders struggle with family balance. Have you ever felt like the mission was pulling too much from home, from you? Either of you?
Yeah, I mean, I could say for me, especially as the mother of the home, I have. There were times when I did feel a little overwhelmed, and I'm like, I'm gonna share this with you. So I remember finishing my bachelor's degree, and I was done with school. I was like, oh no. And then the professor of Berkeley College calls me and he says, Nadine, we have an advanced master's program you can finish in 1 year. I said, I don't think I can do that. I have 4 children. My husband, there's no way that I can do a master's program. I was going to be content with a bachelor's degree. I didn't even want to cross the stage. My husband had to convince me, because I was already 40, to cross the stage for my bachelor's. So I'm here to encourage you. If you haven't done it in your young age, you can still do it in your old age, right? It's never too late to educate yourself. And this man challenged me. He says, Nadine, register for this master's program. Start off this semester with 1 class and see if you can pass. And let me tell you something, I finished that class with an A. I surprised myself. He said, you're going to register for the next one. And I completed that master's program with all A's in 1 year. So sometimes I felt overwhelmed. I felt like I can't do it. I cannot go to school. I can't be a wife. I can't be a mother with so many things to do. And I was not believing in myself. But somebody else believed in me. And my husband was cheering me on. He was like, Nate, maybe you didn't get your bachelor's in your 20s. And maybe you wanted to cross the stage when you were then. He said, but you have me now. You have your children now. Don't be ashamed.
That's added value. Yeah.
Now. Those things encourage me. So even when I didn't feel like I was worth it, didn't think that I can do it, I've been there. You know, it's the family, it's the persistence, it's the consistency, and it's that grace from God. And him that really sees us through.
Awesome. Thank you. Pastor Q?
I said we have to be a good example. You see, we thank parents, and this has been something that I've heard many times. You always want to do a little better than the last generation, and the bar high. So I have an approach where I'm just going to keep going and keep doing my best. If I'm in a situation, let me do my best.
Even when you feel overwhelmed.
Even when you feel overwhelmed, keep going. Because there's going to be a day when you're going to call it quits, and that's it.
And we're humans, and then we were humans. You're not always going to wake up and feel chippery. There's some days you feel like the whole world is on your shoulders. Right? It's the grace of God.
Awesome, awesome. Abiola said, my dad and my stepmother teach us that same way. Man, I know when those folks teach you how to fix your clothes in the closet, clean your shoes, and how to sit at the table, and how to handle the knife and fork, and you know how you ought to iron your clothes. Simple ironing your clothes.
Oh my God, pleats is important.
Yes. Iron your clothes properly. Start from the collar and then work your way down to the sleeves and all this stuff. You know how to put a pants on the ironing board.
That's right.
Bring back the old time days. Right? We need those principles.
We're currently going through that now. I tell my son, bring the ironing board, bring the iron. I'll show you. Right? We have to show them. It's not just to do it
model
for them.
The behavior, of course.
Yeah. Right? What does the Bible tell us? Train up a child in the way they should go. Yeah.
Of course.
And when they grow old, they will not depart. So if we want them to grow, then hey, we have to invest in them. Go ahead, rapid question.
For the next 10 minutes, we have perhaps, or 5 minutes. Take a break, guys. Take some water and come right back in 2 minutes. 2 minutes.
All right.
Yes.
All right. Let's do this.
From humble beginnings, a vision so clear. Called by faith, they answered without fear. Hand in hand, walking purpose divine. Serving the world, one soul at a time. Through every trial, they stood as one. Guided by the Father, the work's not done. Through every trial, they stood as one. Guided by the Father, the work's not done. Purpose across nations, hear the call. Clean hands, pure hearts, we stand tall. From city lights to distant lands, changing lives with healing hands. Purpose across nations, hear the call. Clean hands, pure hearts, they stand tall. From city lights to distant lands, changing lives with healing hands. From Kenya's war to Pakistan's cry, lifting up voices, reaching the sky. Coming women, breaking the chain, turning the struggle into strength again. We rise, we serve, we stand in grace. Love and faith in every place. Global mission, hearts aligned. God's purpose for all mankind. Purpose across nations, hear the call. Hear the call. Hands, pure hearts, they stand tall. From city lights to distant lands, changing lives with healing hands. Purpose across nations, hear the call. Hear the call. Pure hearts, they stand tall. From city lights to distant lands, changing lives with healing hands.
You can't get enough of this couple, man. You can't get enough of this couple. I'm telling you. We can play this video and just didn't have to ask you guys these questions, man. Folks can just see the works in these pictures, man. I hope you guys are proud of yourselves for making an impact in this world. But the rapid fire we must have. I'm not going to be lenient or sympathetic to any of my friends coming on this platform. Everyone goes through rapid fire. Are you ready?
Ready.
Ready, ready, good. All right. So let's lighten up a bit. Who is the better speaker?
Why are you laughing like that, Pastor Q?
I think I'm the more experienced. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Are you agree with that, Nadine?
I'll agree with him. Yeah, his talent lies in his speech. He really is a good speaker.
Okay. All right. So sometimes I'll take one word, sometimes I'll ask you to expound, okay?
Okay.
Yeah.
Who takes longer to get ready? Well, I think we already answered that. Who takes longer to get ready?
Yeah.
Did you gauge this question? So what's him or me?
My friends feel the blunt of it most, so both of you are. So directed at both of you.
Over the years.
Ah, okay. So are you agreeing that you take longer, Nadine?
Yeah.
Are you going to work on that?
I've been working on it for years.
You've been working.
For a few years now.
Awesome, awesome. Well, one word to describe your marriage. Who's going to go first? One word.
Joyful.
Joyful, joyful. Okay. One word, Nadine.
I would say unshakable.
Unshakable?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And we're still here and we're going to celebrate 18 years this year. So I feel it's unshakable.
Nadine, I grew up in the country, and when you could shake a mango tree, lovely, juicy mangoes fall out of it.
I like that.
So think about that, okay? All right. One word to describe your ministry.
You know, in our vision statement, we say it's transformative.
Okay.
And that's the word that we'll go with for the ministry. Definitely transformative.
And you would go with that, Pastor Q?
I would go with it because it's synonymous with impactful. So those are the words we want.
Awesome, awesome. Faith or strategy? Which one would you choose?
Oh, faith.
Always faith.
Always.
Always? Okay. All right. All right. I should have put you guys in separate rooms, you know, because she probably just give you a hit in the thing and say, yeah, let's stay with that one, right?
Remember, Ambassador, one.
We are one. One in the spirit. The biggest audience you've spoken to, each of you, the biggest audience.
Wow. I went to Kenya last year, and I spoke at a conference it must have been about 1,500 to 2,000 people.
Whoa.
It was huge. I think that's where we served 750 widows, and there were more people there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. So that was the largest for you. Pastor Q, remember 500? Are you more than that?
What's the capacity in like a Grand Central?
You should know that's like 1,000.
Yeah, it's about 1,000 people. Yeah.
Grand Central. So that's where you get the mic and you talk to them about safety at Grand Central Station.
Well, that's part of it, but we've done like award ceremonies, all sorts of Remembrance Day. We have some coming up now.
Okay.
Even fallen officers, we bring the families in, and we do a whole. I just did one for Women of the Shield. It was called. So they're empowering women in law enforcement. So it's good. It's back.
Awesome, awesome. We're still in rapid fire with this power couple here, Nadine and Pastor Q. Yeah, rapid fire. One global issue that needs urgent attention. One global issue that needs urgent attention. What would that be?
For me, I would say gender equality, but Pastor Q may have, you may think there's another one.
Oh, well, gender equality, and I just think poverty in underserved. I don't understand. Some people are eating so well, and some people are struggling. I see it. That's why we speaking of Grand Central, Penn Station, all the places I've worked. There's still people going inside of trash receptacles to look for food.
Yeah.
People are eating a little bit, so you have the have and have-nots. I have some food. I've eaten at a restaurant. I dump the balance, and someone is going in there to eat the food. So we really we could work with those who have additional, like the pantries and everything. We were doing pantries since we were in Queens. So,
yeah. Well, guys, what do you know it? Your final rapid question, rapid fire question. That was easy, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was fun.
This is your final one.
Yeah.
Your final one. You ready?
Yeah.
Ready.
Are you ready, couple?
Ready.
Okay. Who wins the argument?
Oh, let Pastor Q answer that one. Who wins?
You talking about for us or for every marriage?
You, the two of you. Yeah.
Let's start with us.
Yeah.
Yes. The winner is.
The winner is. Okay.
No.
Oh,
No, it's not-
that's being honest. And this is a safe space. You guys can talk about those things here in the forefront today. We can motivate a couple,
You really think
someone
I-
aspiring to marry.
No, I give you a chance.
You do give me a chance, yeah. Or sometimes I have to interject. And like I said, everyone will have strengths and weaknesses. When it comes to, decorating or moving a vision, right?
Choosing the carpet.
Yeah, come on. What? She sleeps on the service. So tomorrow's Sunday service is already on her mind. So she actually on the checklist. She's telling me, chair covers is washed, all the linens, the backdrops, the music, everything's set. So that is like it's like a mother. It's a motherly instinct. But you see, me more of, I tell her this all the time. I can share this with you. I say when people look at children, they say, "Oh, look how beautifully her dress looks," or the boys. I said that's you get all the credit for that. When you have unruly children, they look at. So we all have. You see how it is. Like I must ensure that you guys are well behaved because I'm here.
Discipline, huh?
Discipline. I have a role. All the clothes in the house. That's what I do. I make sure I wash and clean and fold. Yeah.
Oh, you domesticated, Pastor Q. You got you.
I haven't done laundry in 10 years.
That's awesome.
I haven't done laundry in 20 years.
Oh my goodness. That's awesome.
But that's something he loves to do.
Yeah.
Because, and I allow him to do that.
Come on, Nadine. Cut him a slack on a weekend, 1 weekend per month or something.
He doesn't. Don't do laundry, and I feel so blessed.
Thank you, Pastor Q. You represent the fellas who think that we shouldn't do anything, that we can't have a dog and bark and all this kind of stuff. Because I do my laundry too. I cook. I do whatever I can. I mean, Yeah.
Man,
Yeah. Sometimes you cook, they don't eat what you cook always, because ladies believe that they're the best cook sometimes, right? So, but you do it anyway, right? But you do believe that you could wash the clothes properly, right?
Good scrambled eggs.
Omelette.
He's an omelette guy.
Oh my goodness! Listen, don't cook the food and burn the pot at all. That's the worst thing to ever do. But Pastor Q, we can eat the bun in their cooking, but we don't have a problem with that, right?
No.
But thank you so much, Pastor Q, for holding it down and representing the fellas, man, letting us know that men can be domesticated too, and helping out your wife in any way you can. I applaud you for that. But before we close, what message do you want to leave with leaders first?
I would want leaders to know that it's not about a title. Don't. It's not about your title or your status. It's about service. It's time for us to learn how to serve well. If you serve well, you will lead well.
Okay, I like it. And my own obviously comes from a little bit of a joke. It says, "Po body is nerfing," right? So you just switch the letters around. Nobody is perfect. That's what we have to do. But you have to have the humility. It's gotten me promotions. It's gotten me out of trouble. It's gotten me so much favor. Because sometimes people feel like as you elevate, as you climb the ladder, that you have to knock everybody down and push everybody down. No, you don't. Be who you are.
Yes.
You are who you are, right? That's that integrity that we're referring to. But again, don't change the qualities that God has given you. That's why we're all different. You know that no single person, we don't have the same fingerprints, right? We know a thing or two about fingerprints.
Yeah.
You go in the system.
No identicals.
No. So that tells me, be who you are, unique.
Yeah.
Right? So if you can do that and you bring your leadership style and you encourage growth, we're on the right path. And it starts at home too. It's not just me let me push her aside and let me turn the camera to me. Hey, ask me the questions, and then she stays in the background. Oh, this is comfortable, but she likes her a part of everything that we're doing. Support her together. There's times where I may not have it, and she's like, I got this. Go ahead. You know what it is to tell somebody when you reach home to say, hey, you can take off your shoe, or she'll take off my shoe, and I go lay down on the couch, and I don't have to get up. That's a beautiful thing. But if it's no, this is your responsibility, this is my responsibility, then you're gonna fade out. I don't want any leaders to start off hot and then fade out. I always have this analogy. The beginning of the year, the first 2 weeks of the year, don't go into any gym. You're not gonna find a treadmill. All the machines are taken because everybody's working out. Everybody has a New Year's resolution, new me, and by the time you get to April, it's empty. And I want the leaders to know, let's pace ourselves. Let us run this race that is set before us with patience. Amen. And I'll leave it as that.
Yeah, but you're not going to leave me now with this one hanging. Your advice to couples. What would be your advice to couples?
Couples.
Yeah. What would be your advice to couples?
Oh, I have to take it back biblically. You have to be quick to listen, right? Slow to speak and slow to anger. So you have to have the emotional intelligence to listen as a couple. If you are a roommate, that's different. I don't need to get into nothing with you. I'm just making a beeline right to my bed. The only thing we have in common is we share a space, right? That's your roommate. But if you are a couple, it doesn't matter. Like I like to say to myself, I need to have some in the tank when I get home. Right? I can't just lay everything out at work and then I'm done. I can't do anything else. Come on, that's unfair to her. You gotta have something left. You gotta have. I have to be able to listen to what happened in that clinic today. She works at a hospital, right? I need her to have me as an outlet to her, right? I can't shut her down every time. Or like she said, she gives me a little bit of time, but once I shower, I come back out. I'm here. I'm present, right? So that's what we want as couples. Don't get too angry. Don't get too angry at each other. Don't ever go to bed angry.
Oh, that's what I was gonna say.
Oh, okay, sorry.
I was gonna say that. Don't go to bed angry. Don't go to bed angry as a couple, as a married couple. Make sure you work it out before you go to bed. It's so important. And ladies, if you're angry at him because he didn't do the dishes and you don't want to, leave the dishes and go to bed. If you're angry with him because he didn't do the dishes, leave the dishes and go to bed. So both of you go to bed happy.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yes.
Just leave it there.
It's your
Maybe
friend.
when he gets up,
Friend,
when he gets up in the middle of the night, he might decide to wash them, huh?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Be his friend.
I can't reach it now, but there's a area where the bills are. Don't start ripping things up when you come into this bedroom, man. Oh look, the light, the gas, did it? No.
Right.
This is your time for peace, and then tomorrow we'll
unwind. Yeah. Young people watching us right now from your church and from mine and from all across the world might be watching. What advice would you give to them?
for the youth.
Woo.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say strive for excellence in everything that you do. Put your best foot forward. It doesn't matter what your role is. You could be the person sweeping the floor, or you could be the person giving the message. I want you to put your best foot forward at all times. Strive for excellence. Even if you see shortcuts or other people are doing it this way, you know what is right. Do it the right way and ask God for guidance. Don't do anything without the help of the Almighty God. Ask Him to come in and take and slap His super on your natural, and you will see that do the
It's
supernatural.
super on your natural. Awesome there, man.
I share this a lot with the new officers coming in. You are a walking resume. Your reputation means a lot, and I want you to get off to a good start in life. You'll go through some trials and tribulations and a little bumps and bruises, but I want you to be able to come back and say to yourself, I'm going to stick with this. this is a privilege, it's an honor, and enjoy the time. So what you do or fail to do is going to define who you become, right? I always tell people this: there's two types of sins. There is sins of commission, and if you have strong support, they will remind you. Right? If you have an aunt, an uncle, a mother, a father, uncle, a brother, a sister, somebody's watching, right? And so you kind of stay out of trouble that way. But there is sins of omission, young people. Be careful with that. If you are not doing the things you're supposed to be doing, what are you building on? Do you need me to tell you go read your book and go prepare yourself for tomorrow? You know, after Sunday is what? Monday. You know you have school or work on Monday. You're going to wait till Monday morning or Sunday night to start preparing yourself? Don't do that, right? Let's say, hey, I want to increase. I want to get better each and every day. Whatever you didn't do in January, because I encourage to journal too. Whatever you didn't get to accomplish last week or last month, don't give up on it. Just come back at it. Come back at it. Deep breaths. Because you have to go through to get through. Let me tell you, when you know whatever you're going for, understand what it takes to get there. If you when I tell young people, hey, they see me in the street, what does it take to become a police officer? I tell you the truth. You need 60 college credits. You need to be able to pass a physical fitness test. You need to be able to pass a psychological. It's a written exam. So I'm telling you all the steps. It's up to you to take information. You know what information is? It's knowledge. You know what wisdom is? It's taking that knowledge and applying it to your life. Just don't be hearers of the word, be doers of the word too. All right, I'll stop right there.
Yeah, that's it, man. And what does purpose truly means in one sentence? You power couple, purpose in one sentence.
In one sentence, purpose.
I got it. Why you're here? Why am I here?
Yeah.
There's a wonderful book by Rick Warren, and it's called Purpose Driven Life. I encourage you to read it. You know, when I talk about journaling, when I talk about getting up, what are you trying to accomplish today? What's on the agenda? If you don't have a calendar, you should either have one. If you're old school like me, you should be writing down things or use these fancy technology we have, right? Where there's an alert. There's no day I wake up and I have no idea what I'm doing. I could show you right now, okay, Monday at 10 a.m. I have this meeting. I keep scrolling, 11 o'clock you get what I'm saying? Even at home, organize yourself. I know that today, DJ Quinn, right? Forefront today. That's what I'm doing. I know at 6 o'clock, right? We have to be somewhere else. We're going to a symphony, right? I know next week, in a few days, I'm hanging out with Ambassador Rhonda Ben. You see how it is?
Can't wait.
I am looking. So now you have excitement. You're looking forward to things. I don't want life to be mundane and you have your hands folded and you're just like going with the flow. We're not going to be nonchalant people anymore. We're going to be purpose.
And I just want to add one word to purpose. It's intentional.
Oh, yeah.
You have to live your life intentionally. This is not a trial. This is not rehearsal.
No reset button here.
This is real life.
And action.
And though everyone may say, well, tomorrow is a new day, tomorrow is a second chance, tomorrow is a continuation of yesterday. So the decisions that you make today will affect tomorrow. So live intentionally.
Yeah. I know folks can find me here on my YouTube channel, and they can call me at 678-210-5106 to be part of this movement. But how folks can connect to you, Pastor Q and Nadine? How can folks connect to you?
They can meet us. They can join our social media. We have, or you can find me on Facebook, Clean Hands and Pure Heart International Ministries, or you can find us at Reverend Dr. Nadine Grigsby. You can also find us on YouTube. It's a YouTube channel that we try to grow right now. Clean Hands and Pure Heart. I can share, maybe I'll share the link with you, DJ.
Yeah, drop the link in there right now if you can, and so folks can find you in the chat. Because when folks go back to look at this, they'll have everything there to connect to you, Pastor Q and Nadine, and both ambassadors, power couple. I'm having this conversation towards the end of it. We are. This power couple right here. I think this is the longest interview I've had, but it's worth it. When you have two two powerhouse together, you know, it goes longer than an hour. So I don't mind. Nobody tells me to get off of the channel. It's mine. And so we can stay as long as we want over here.
Yeah, this was really awesome. I enjoyed this fun-filled interview. You're always, and I look forward to doing it again.
Awesome, awesome. So today, folks, today we didn't just hear a story. We witnessed purpose in motion, from faith to service to global impact. This is what leadership looks like when it is rooted in love and in humility. I want to thank Reverend Quincy Grigsby and his lovely wife, Reverend Dr. Nadine Grigsby, both ambassadors at the UN, for blessing us here on this platform with their presence. And so on behalf of the folks here at Forefront today, this is DJ Crane, your matured mixer, reminding you to live with purpose, serve with love, and never underestimate your impact. This is Forefront today, and we will see you next time after our last word from Pastor Grigsby and Nadine. They will have the last say for you right here in Forefront today.
I dropped our social media hangers in the private chat because I couldn't put it in the public chat. But I want to leave with you today to love God first and then love others as yourself. And those of you that are married, be each other's lovers. Okay? It makes a difference.
It makes a difference, yes. And I would encourage you to enjoy your journey. It goes by so quickly, you know, and you want to have shared memories. My memories of joy should outweigh anything that I've been through. Even though I've failed, there's things that I fell short with, but it's wonderful to know that you are giving it your best, right? So keep reaching, and when you accomplish things in life, don't forget to go back and say, thank you, Lord. If you could stay grounded knowing that everything you acquire, everything that you accomplish, nothing belongs to you. We're just stewards, right? We're not owners of anything. And you'll have a different lease on life. People will always wonder what makes you in such a good mood. I said, it's nothing I could do about it. If I am, that's the way I'm programmed. Remember, we have blessings before we were even born, right? This fruit of the Spirit, there are things that's in you. You just have to bring it out. Find someone who helps bring the best out of you.
Yes.
Right? Do things that will complement your skill set. Right? I just don't want us to do things robotically. Right? Must go to work, must earn a check, and then you're not enjoying yourself. You know, the Lord has spared my life. Very soon, I will be a 5-0. Imagine, I'll have a five in front of my age. It's right, you know, it's down the road, but I could see it. And I thank the Lord for each and every day. No regrets. And I say, thank you, Lord, you know, for what he has done for me. And thank you for putting me in a position to meet people along the way.
Yes.
You're all wonderful people with a lot of potential. I just don't want it to stay dormant. That's a key word. Don't let the skills and the talents and the abilities stay dormant. I thank you, DJ Quinn. God has given you a gift. Here you are with a platform Forefront today. You're using it. And look, you're teaching us. Keep going. Just don't sit and say, relax. Hey, I'm good. You're building another channel. Soon you'll have more, you know, or the YouTube channel. It's out there. These things are put out there for us to get these positive messages out there. So thank you. We appreciate you.
Yes, DJ Quinn. And somebody on this line, her name is Sister Hermia, and sent me a cookbook. So I have to go and get busy.
Thank you.
I gotta get busy with my cookbook today.
Awesome. Also want to thank our viewers on YouTube and on Facebook. Some folks are saying great, wonderful program, and a great interview with Minister Harley Quinn, and so many folks are finding this to be impactful. Thank you so much for your viewership and your I hope that you're sharing it. I hope that you will come back and be with me right here in Forefront. Every time you subscribe to my YouTube channel and that notification bell rings, you'll join me for another impactful interview with power couples like this one right here. You also have a book. You also there's so many things we can talk about for this woman here about miracle birth, about a book, about so many things we couldn't talk about, but we'll come back. You know, I'll probably get you back another time. But thank you so much for embracing me. I know you got to go cook because Pastor Q got clothes to wash, And so you guys can share the responsibility, equally. And so come back next time. Let's talk about this. This is what we're here for, to make an impact collectively. We can make a collaborative impact. Thank you so much. On behalf of Forefront today, my best regards to your mama, to the kids, and everyone connected to Clean Hands, Pure Heart Ministries. Take care of yourselves and each other. See you soon. God
Bye
bless.
to everybody who was watching. God
Thank
bless.
you all for joining us. We love you. God
Ambassador
bless
Rhonda, see you soon.
you. Ooh, Sister
I
Harriet,
see
I'm gonna use my cookbook today.
Yes.
All right.
All right.
From humble beginnings, a vision so clear. Called by faith, they answered without fear. Hand in hand, walking purpose divine. Serving the world, one soul at a time. Through every trial, they stood as one. Guided by the Father, the work's not done. Through every trial, they stood as one. Guided by the Father, the work's not done. Purpose across nations, hear the call. Clean hands, pure hearts, we stand tall. From city lights to distant lands, changing lives with healing hands. Purpose across nations, hear the call. Clean hands, pure hearts, they stand tall. From city lights to distant lands, changing lives with healing hands. From Kenya's war to Pakistan's cry, lifting up voices, reaching the sky. Coming women, breaking the chain, turning the struggle into strength again. We rise, we serve, we stand in grace. Love and faith in every place. Global mission, hearts aligned. God's purpose for all mankind. Purpose across nations, hear the call. Hear the call. Hands, pure hearts, they stand tall. From city lights to distant lands, changing lives with healing hands. Purpose across nations, hear the call. Hear the call. Pure hearts, they stand tall. From city lights to distant lands, changing lives with healing hands. Legacy written, love remains. Purpose flowing through their veins. Legacy written, love remains.